Stand by. The BRN goes worldwide at 6 a.m. Eastern.
Attention, BRN affiliates. Showtime in 90 seconds. Showtime in 60 seconds. "45 seconds. "30 seconds. The show will start in 15 seconds, and this is your last audible warning.
Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
I don't want push-ups.
You don't want push-ups?
I want you so the camera can see you, and we'll just get you some fives. Just five,
Yeah.
boom. Just shoulders, buys, whatever.
You get a lot done with some fives.
Yeah. If I get you 2 fives, I'll bring you maybe 2 kettlebells or something. Or I don't know.
Do some swings.
Whatever. But you're
Awesome.
just in there doing your thing, and we're like, oh, look at Anna Lummy. She's over there doing fitness. That means we're talking about sports too much.
Not happy.
Should we shut up, or should we just let the bitch go for another 15 minutes and get a pump on?
Looks like she's having a good pump. Let's keep it going.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
Man, what a great day. The last day of October. So I guess today is really Halloween, right?
Yes, it is.
Today's
Yes.
officially. Tonight's the night, Dan, the kids go out trick-or-treating.
Correct.
Even though it's a school night. Still.
Yeah.
Halloween, man. It seems like Halloween would always just be a kind of a floating date, and they would make it the Saturday before the last day of the month.
That would be better.
Really?
Yeah, of course. Like, I mean,
Oh, it would be better. I think
Well,
that they do that.
No, it would be better with regards to, like, kids trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
And parents, being able to stay up a little bit later to hand out candy. Because, there's probably some parents that go to bed at 8:30. And I go to bed at 6.
You're unique.
I'm very unique. But what would you say the average person goes to bed? 10 o'clock?
10, 11.
10, yeah. But the average person doesn't wake up at 2:30 either.
Right.
So I'm a little bit ahead on that deal.
Well, it's like a holiday now because, like, all weekend there's been things for kids to go out and trick or treat at different businesses and parks. And
I'm just
things like
thinking,
that.
man, Halloween. If I was the president, Clem, I'd say, listen, we're making a new deal here. Halloween is the last Saturday of the month. It's not the last day of the month like it's been forever, which sometimes could be on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Thursday, which means kids really can't stay out that late because it's a school night.
It's darker earlier, though, So it's not like getting dark at 8:30. It's getting dark around, 6:45.
I know, but that doesn't change the clock. Getting, most kids go to bed at 9.
I understand, but I'm saying you can start earlier.
The problem is that Halloween has kind of a religious connotation. It's also the day before. Yes. And
Hold on. Have we, as Americans, completely misinterpreted what, I'm going to be honest with you, Dan, for $5 gazillion for the U.S., such as U.S. American debt of $34 trillion, I could not have told you the origin of Halloween. Is there anybody? Anna, did you know it?
No.
Is it a
No, hold on.
pagan
It's a
thing?
yes or a no.
No, I don't know.
Lummy?
No, I do not know.
Rhett? By the
No.
way, we can check you and Macho's mics right now because Macho's rewired them. Oh, yeah, I actually missed
Here.
back because I had to rewire the studio. I didn't dig it. Macho Man, are you there?
Check 1, 2. Yep.
Oh, you sound good. I got your levels.
Okay.
Now, do you know the origin of Halloween?
No.
Okay. Now, Rhett, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I got to turn you up a little bit. Okay. I got levels here.
You want me to boost them back here? Or?
No, I got them. Just leave them alone.
Gotcha.
I got them perfect right now. Rhett, do you know the origin of Halloween?
I do not.
All right.
I sent you a video.
Even you being half orange. You don't know it. So Anna, now
He's half pumpkin.
so Anna, is this?
I sent
Now,
you 2 videos.
hold on,
Ignore the first one.
Before I play this, maybe we should let Dan spew it out
Sure.
because he says he knows.
Oh yeah.
So
I'll have all the accuracies of it. There's two things. There's a Spanish holiday the day before, which is like the Night of the
Dia
Dead.
de los Muertes.
Right. And so it
Sorry.
honors the dead people. And then the actual Halloween day was also like an anti-devil day, essentially in the Christian church. Halloween was supposed to expel and scare away the bad spirits.
Like,
Semi-pagan, semi-Christian, semi-Hispanic. I mean, it's a blend of a couple things, and so that's why I think it won't be like a weekend before those days, because I think those days it's like say we're not going to do Christmas on the 25th. We're just going to do it on the Saturday before the 25th.
I know, but I know that there's some lock-in days. There's like 4th of July. Obviously, that's locked in on the 4th of July, right?
Right.
Obviously, New Year's Day is only going to be one day. It could be for the 1st of January. Christmas is always locked in on December 25th. Like there's no wiggle room. Thanksgiving is always the last Thursday of November, regardless of the day.
And we should celebrate the holiday of Halloween. I think I agree with you, Bubba, on like the last Saturday of October.
Just because,
why not?
Just because it is. We've not turned it into a specific day. We don't even really, as Americans, celebrate what it's really all about. We just associate it with a couple things. This is all us Americans think of: candy and costumes
And pumpkins.
Pumpkins and you know,
Candies and costumes really does
corn,
line it up.
But candy and costumes, pumpkins are a given.
Yeah.
You know, that dry harvest, you know, hard corn sometimes is a little bit of a display, but for the most part, you know, it's skeletons and goblins and witches and costumes and candy. That's it. That's all. Listen, as a 57-year-old man, they're like, Bubba, what does Halloween mean? I'd be like, I don't even know, man. I mean, kids trick-or-treating, dressing up like a bad guy. Like, I wouldn't know that it was. Does it date back to like when they were the Salem witch kind of deals where they were burning people at the stakes for being witches?
I think it goes back way before that to like the old Celtic times.
So you're talking about like not even an American thing. You're talking about Halloween was a global thing.
No. Yes.
Okay,
not American, but global. Yes.
Okay, yes.
It is a global thing.
Because let's be honest, I think Thanksgiving. Let's just be honest. There's some holidays that are America only.
Yes.
For instance, I think are we the only one that celebrates St. Patty's?
No, St. Patty's Day is national, international, but the Thanksgiving is unique.
All right, Thanksgiving and July 4th.
4th of July is unique. Veterans Day, Labor Day.
Yeah, so we got like 4 or 5.
Columbus Day, which is now Indigenous American Day.
We got 4.
I don't think they celebrate that.
So now, is that 4 or 5 that the other countries don't even get to have? Like, or do
they have their own
stuff. That kind of corresponds to our stuff. Like they have like a May Day in Russia, May 1st. Also, there's like the May Queen in England, so you know,
Canadian
the beginning of
Thanksgiving.
They got boxing. Don't they have? Is it Boxing Day really big in somehow in Canada? Whatever the hell that means.
Commonwealth. It's the day after Christmas.
But don't they call it Boxing Day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does it have anything to do with the sport boxing?
I don't think so. I think it has to do with boxes, but I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
We've looked it up on the show. I've since forgotten.
So anyway,
it's Canada.
Today is Halloween. So if you got kids, today is the night they're going to be traipsing through the neighborhood, whether you accompany them or not. I got to think that really no parents allow your kids to go out by themselves anymore. Except
for Dan.
That's all we did.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Dan, I think Dan might be letting Danny out.
No, my mom's just got back in town from Jersey, so she wants to see him, and
So hold on.
Is that going to cramp his style?
Hold on, Danny. Let me ask the questions. Everybody shut up. Hold on, Danny. As your best friend, part-time lover, you're going to try to tell me that little Danny went from just 2 days ago. He was going out with his boys. Him and Frankie were going to go out and do their own little 11-year-old thing, their own deal. Like maybe they're on bikes or maybe they're on foot, maybe they're on skateboards, whatever they're on, and they're going to terrorize the neighborhood. And now, hold on. 80-plus-year-old Arlene is now chaperoning?
No.
Way to get screwed, man. Whoa.
No, I don't think that's how it's going to happen.
Oh.
In years past, when all 4 of the kids, like Trey and Sophia were dressing up, we would go to Jay's house.
And that's
then,
kind of a more better neighborhood as far as it being all condensed.
It's more better.
It's very concentrated.
No,
good candy, concentrated.
Yeah. Yours is, just as affluent, but more spread out.
Way more spread out. Not quite as affluent. The neighborhoods.
In Bayshore, man, you could have a $6 million home like yours right next to a $300,000 teardown.
Right.
Am I right?
That's true. And if Bayshore has a lot long sidewalks, so long driveways.
You could go to Jay's place, man, and you could park the thing, and the kids could hit 3 houses on one side, 3 on the other, load back up, and pull up 4 houses. Right?
Yes, and it's literally like a traffic jam of golf carts on Davis Island.
Sure. So
Everyone's
it's just,
got their own golf carts.
It's just parents doing their own thing. You know that the Candles and the Rominas are drinking the wine, because there's not going to be any cop that pulls over the hot, rich bitches of Davis Island.
Ain't no cops.
Right. No, there's cops, but there's
not in the neighborhood part.
There's cops just making sure the kids are okay. They could care less with how many bottles of wine Candle has.
Nope.
Right?
Yep.
They don't care. That Romina and Candle between them are a 0.50.
Yeah, exactly.
So Arlene's
drive.
rolling over now. Is she only going to be here for pre-festivity outlet, like a costume look? Grandma wants to see the outfits, or is she actually going boots on the ground?
Interestingly, haven't made definitive plans yet. So my idea is that I think Danny may stay in our neighborhood, and she just may come by and just see the costume, give him a kiss,
take some pictures, and say, "I love you, little Danny."
Yeah, exactly.
He's my third grandchild. Fourth.
No, it's like 1, 2.
So first was Nick. Second
3,
was
fourth. You're right, fourth.
God dang.
No,
5th, right?
5th.
Yeah, because it would be Nick, Bella, Trey,
Sophia,
and
then
Danny, then
Sage.
Then Sage. So there's 6 total grandkids. Of the 6, who's the most spoiled? From Arlene.
From Arlene?
From Arlene, yeah.
Oh, she likes to spoil Sophia. She loves to spoil Sophia. But she also has a nice little relationship with Danny. Like, he's nice with her.
How about Daddy Joe? Wasn't Daddy Joe a big Nick fan?
He was a huge Nick fan.
Yeah,
but he became a big Danny fan, when Danny was, doing well. See, Nick.
Joe was very unfair, and it was how good you're doing in sports right now.
Correct. And so, towards the end, last year,
when Sophia was on Varsity Crew, Sophia was the bomb. But when Danny started playing flag football and scoring some touchdowns, then Danny started to get an upper crust.
He literally said one of his proudest days was watching Danny score a touchdown.
Right.
Oh, nice.
He also, liked when Danny was doing well in the go-karting. So yeah, he was a big fan of Danny's.
God bless little Joe. So anyway, today is Halloween, and Dan, you're saying that it's started out with the Christians or whoever wanting to have a day where you hold off the spirits or kill the spirits or something like that.
I thought
right?
it had pagan origins, but
You're actually on something like that.
I already said that.
By the way, Lummy, did you know that we're 4 deep right now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble.
Wow.
Yeah. As Lummy, we continue to tweak that new thing, Operation Project, bring us into this decade, Willie.
Yeah.
As we continue to tweak that, I think eventually in the next week or so, we might be on 7 visual platforms in the morning.
Oh, my God.
And 40 to 45 audio platforms. For real.
Wow.
For real.
That's 2023, bitch.
Yeah, well, so That's going to be super cool, and it seems like we're on all four right now, Lummy, with no problems.
No problems at all.
So again, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and Twitch if you want to visually watch us, and give us a thumbs up. Like for instance, Lummy, we got 643 people on Rumble and only 34 thumbs up. Like what the hell? What do you hear?
Come on, guys, give a thumbs up.
Come on, man. Like all you can do is click it. You just got to
easy to do. Yep.
Yeah.
So easy to do.
We got 400 some this early in the morning on YouTube and 70 thumbs.
Have you?
If you're up in our guts, why can't you give me a thumb, bitch? About to get mine.
Yeah, tickle.
What were you saying?
Are we on that one platform that's subbing it out to the others now, or is that coming soon?
That's coming soon.
Okay.
When we're finally on that, then it's unlimited.
That's where it opens
up. Right
up.
now, our capabilities, Macho, if I'm right, right now 4 is about all we can do just straight with the 1K internet that we got. I think 4.
Yeah, we're actually doing Spectrum because it has a lower latency. For streaming, it's better. So we have only 50 megs right now. So we don't want to push it.
So 50 megs will put us on four
Yeah,
places?
because for streaming, it's more about a latency buffering issue than it is speed.
But meanwhile...
we're on the chip. It's about the rev limiter.
So is 4 about all you could do? Like if you were to try to hook up X right now, would that bog it all down and just cause a big shiz storm?
Yes.
Yeah. There you go, Red. First one on. All right, but when we get the new place, which maybe might be next week, we could double fist it. We can do whatever. It's my understanding.
Yes.
Because they'll be hosting everything.
Yeah, it's going to be up to them.
Now, do they got the squirrels and the rocks and the man? Do they got the trunk to get us out to 8, 9 different places?
For that price tag, they better.
Yeah, no kidding.
What's that?
So with that price tag, they better.
Oh yeah, true. Let me any after hours trade. By the way, today is the last day of the month, which signifies a Halloween. That's what we got into that. But it also signifies that we need to pull the nose up.
Sure do.
Now I will tell you this, man. If you've not listened to yesterday's podcast, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
We are talking about now. Listen, let me just say this because if I say it the right way, we won't get in trouble. If you guys start throwing some of your stuff in there, we could get in trouble. So just let me say it. We were talking about Peter North's load. Now, he could have a dump truck.
Oh, yeah.
Or he could have, a load full of laundry, like that.
He's got a load of mulch.
Peter North has large loads, and we were talking about it. And, looking at pictures and stuff, pontificating on podcast about the size of Peter North's loads. Again, maybe he was loading up some laundry. Maybe he was taking some mulch in the back of his pickup truck, Lummy. A load's a load.
T-shirt will 25 on a cash app.
The word in itself. See, that's the problem with all you sickos out there.
The word's loaded.
Well, you hear the word load, and you instantaneously think about what us fellas talk about, what we most off the top of our mind think a load is. But a load I could be like, hey, take a load off your feet and sit down. Or let me, hey. Tell average Joe to bring me 5 loads of mulch immediately.
Will do.
Or hey, when you do your load of laundry, make sure you use that fancy smelling Diva stuff.
That guy's loaded.
That guy's loaded, like Dan.
Yeah.
Or not that guy's loaded with regards to cash, but with regards to then you flip it over to the Lummy deal and you go, that guy's loaded alcohol-wise.
Oh yeah, he's loaded.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we just the different meanings of the word load.
Yeah, get a load of this guy.
Yeah. Load is a pretty cool word, especially the way Peter North talks about loads. So anyway, our podcast, anywhere you get podcasting, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Apple, it doesn't matter. Just type in the Bubba Army on any podcasting platform, and we're approaching 1,000 episodes. I think we're like 953 or something, 35. Anna would know.
I think it's 953.
Like we're in the 50s, and I think we're approaching our 6 millionth download. I think we're 5.8 million downloads. So, Lummy, we're gonna have to think of something special to do for the 6 millionth download.
Oh yeah,
or maybe the 1,000th. Well, we probably got it. It's almost like on the 1,000th show might be the 6 millionth download. Like we're kind of right there.
Intersect.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be perfect timing.
So We'll do one or the other. We'll either do the 1,000th episode or the 6 millionth download as a special showdown. I don't know. Lummy, you're going to have to think of something super exclusive, super maybe naughty, maybe super taboo that I've never talked about that would want to make, and the only place that we would put that would be on podcasting because, one, it's either really filthy or two, it's just super exclusive and maybe even borderline embarrassing that I wouldn't want, the terrestrial. I wouldn't want the... This is our big show, the morning show, our terrestrially syndicated morning show that's seen on, as of today, 4 different platforms and soon to be 7. And today is heard on like 5 different platforms audibly, but soon to be 50. So I'm just saying, like this main show, the main 4-hour show, I might be embarrassed to talk about or not even have the ability to talk about a particular subject that you're going to
bring up.
Yeah, so... you got a little time.
Okay.
Be giving me some ideas of some topics I can talk about that will be very, scandalous and exclusive that I could probably not talk about over here in fear of it being a,
I know you won't,
FCC fine or something.
But man, what a big show that would be if you told us the name of the person in Chicago. That would be epic.
We've already said who it is on the air. He's just got to come clean.
I can't come clean just in fear of getting sued.
Oh.
No, I mean,
you
like
can't
it's
get sued for the truth.
Well, but
Sign an NDA.
But no.
Will that lawsuit bring a TMZ article with it?
Maybe I'll bring it up. Okay, but Dan, here's what I'm facing. One, first of all, I have nothing to lie about. Like, why? I've never been the kind of radio guy where I start throwing all these names around.
You don't need to, dude, because you have such great stories that are true and accurate and happen to you on a regular basis. There's no need to embellish.
I know. So what I'm saying is, this woman is like it's probably the biggest name. Well, I don't know. I mean, I had a few porn stars back in the day, but this chick was pop culturally pretty popular for a little bit, and she may not want to admit that happened. But then again, but here's the deal. Like, Dan, you'd have to go and find, I think she stayed at the Drake.
Oh.
I think she stayed at the Drake Hotel. That's where we did it. And you're going to have to go back and get footage from 1980, July of 1989. I don't know that the Drake has footage from July of 89.
Yeah, it's stored on microfiche in the basement.
So what I'm saying is, like, it's just her word against my word. And I'm not a known liar when it comes to talking about that stuff.
Nope.
Like, you don't hear me.
But other stuff.
Well, you don't hear me just rattling off a bunch of hot girls' names that there'd be no way to prove or not. Like, I don't have a history of doing that. I do probably have a history of playing the name game somewhat. Larry Bird, Tony Stewart,
Deion Sanders.
Deion. But those are legitimately my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've heard some radio personalities in town. Well, I'll just say Calta. The 3 times that Calta met Deion, he was with me as my little do boy. And he tries to tell stories about how, he knows him and all. Like, come on. When you're somebody's do boy and you get introduced to a star and you don't have that star's number and you don't have that, you know what? Here's the real true test as to whether you know a star. Do they have your phone number and do you have theirs, and do you communicate ever with them? Right?
Yeah.
That would, Dan, determine whether you really do know a person, because usually you only give your cell phone to a person that you know and that you wouldn't mind hearing from.
Right. Like,
Correct?
I met Steve Tyler from Aerosmith, but we didn't exchange numbers.
Right.
I don't know him.
I got Deion's number. He's got mine. We talk a lot. I got Howard's number. He's got mine. We correspond at least once a month. I got Larry Bird's phone number. We correspond 2 times a year. I try to have him on for his birthday. Lately, he's not been feeling very well and not been in a very good mood.
Oh.
Who else? Hulk Hogan.
Well.
Obviously, we're not communicating, but I don't think I have to really prove to anybody that I knew him pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nope.
Give him the ultimate prize.
Tony Stewart.
Made him as rich as he coming. Think about how rich Hulk
I think
Hogan.
about it every day.
Hulk Hogan was dead. He told Kevin Hazlett one time back in like 2010 But the sex tape scandal didn't break until 12. So like from 2009 until 2011, he was dead in the water. He once told Kevin Hazlett, I couldn't get a job as a door guy at a downtown hotel right now. I am so broke. And now he's worth, $100 million because of me. You're going to say I don't know Hulk Hogan? Yeah. Please, bitch. I did the ultimate job clean. So, Lummy, if I was to disclose...
It was the best move of his career. It was the most lucrative thing he's ever done.
Right, was to screw my wife and me tape it illicitly.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Loaded from a load.
So
the history of Halloween is interesting.
So hold on, shut up. So,
well, if you like
so now hold on. So Lummy is talking about this proposed podcast that I do on the 6 millionth download and or 1,000th. Lummy, it's whatever comes first.
Yeah.
It's whatever comes first, the 6 millionth download show or the 1,000th episode show. I'm going to do a show. Well, I don't know. Lummy's proposing that I do a show where I disclose the one female musical artist that I blasted in Chicago back in 1989. And everybody's gassed and all this kind of things. And I can't even say whether you've guessed it right or not. But I'm just trying to think of the legal ramifications. Maybe we should wait for Jay to come in.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
That's
Dan?
fair.
Without an NDA, there's no, minor involved. There's no legal ramifications.
I understand that, and I know what your advisement is, but I'd just like to get why not just get a double? Why not double insure me when I got a double Diaco?
Mm-hmm.
Usually you guys argue on everything. If you two ever laser lock on the same deal, man, lock that in. That's a lock in.
Woo.
So Lummy, I may do that.
Sweet.
Now that may really piss her off.
Well,
because I don't even know that she remembers it.
Oh, don't say that.
No,
she's not in diapers yet. She remembers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't think she's in diapers. I'm not sure. I mean, it wasn't Phyllis Diller, so.
I don't even know, Lummy. I don't even know, Lummy, that necessarily the word even gets back to her. The ultimate.
Probably not.
Power pick. As rich as he coming. Think about. Let me see here. I got to turn all these volumes down. We are 4 deep right now.
Yes, we are.
Which gets somewhat cumbersome. It's nice to see us on Twitch. Isn't that nice?
It is.
Thank you. If anything, just resubscribe with your free Amazon Prime deal. At least resubscribe, right?
Yes, please.
Anna sent me the origins of Halloween.
Look at the second
Every
one.
year, millions of people around the country spill into streets.
Can you put it
dressed
on
as
the other
fairies,
screen?
goblins, characters from the...
Put it on the other screen. Oh, no, nobody turned,
TV's
turned
on.
the TV on. How does Macho
It was on,
Man
but it was empty for a long time, so it shut itself back off. He's turned it on like 3 times this morning.
Well, does it mean like I need to play something early on that machine so it doesn't turn off? Or
Just throw like a tab over there.
Yeah, normally when we have our meetings, you always have something in that
their favorite
window.
movie franchise. And
Well, I had that for the long. Oh, it's turned off. I'm sorry.
He's coming in now. He should be in there in a second.
Appreciate it. How about I go to words a little bit early and we come back with this?
Ooh, I like that.
Be responsible.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You don't understand a word I'm saying, do you?
Don't work yourself into a Mark Lather. Mark Lather.
Don't talk. You just make it worse. I don't want to cry and wet my pants.
It's not very becoming. Where's that guy with the stick? The Bubba the Love Sponge show returns after these words.
The entire time?
Well, no, it was you had it expanded so it was black.
Oh, okay.
I was watching back there. I'm like, I hope it doesn't go off again. Sure
Okay.
Did. Sure did.
Well, then just literally blurt in and tell me.
I'll look and see if there's an auto power off thing.
See the big one?
Okay.
On it.
Lummy, did you get Will Wilson?
Yes, I did. He's the first and only one today. End of the month, guys.
Will Wilson, only one.
T-shirt.
My PayPal is like almost just like Phoenix, the desert. Who won last night? Arizona or?
Seattle won the hockey game in
I know,
overtime.
fucking Lightning suck.
And then Detroit won. Against
Do they still
Vegas.
have Vasilevsky? Because they were playing Johansson.
Sure.
Which hurt.
Yeah.
The other guy sucks.
He was back.
Texas won 3-1. Texas leads series 2-1.
I have a feeling Texas is going to take that series.
God, and they barely made it in the playoffs.
And then just rolled right through everyone else. Lions smashed Vegas. Jimmy G's picture.
Ruffalo.
Yeah, the one they used yesterday on ABC.
Longo got pulled last night. Lummy.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know what? I've not seen any Dion. Was there a Dion press conference after UCLA?
I'll look. I guess their locker room got robbed of.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Well,
Send that to
guys
me.
shouldn't have $5,000 necklaces in college.
Send that to me, Lummy, okay?
Right.
But also send me. I haven't seen a press conference.
I don't think I've seen one either.
They have to do one.
Yeah, I know, but they may not have posted it. That's the thing. I'll find it. I sent you the story about them getting their stuff stolen on ESPN. Let me find it.
Holyoke, Jay Gator, good morning. Snizzle Slazair, what's up, Dan G? K Bizzle, Group of Libs, what's up, Kenny Powers, Blizzard Bob.
Tech 9 today at 10:30.
Yes.
Unity 17, good morning. This Ant Show, good morning. Polsky, KW. Kicks for Guns, 2X, good morning. Holy yoke. Yep, Terry, good morning.
I sent you his press conference too.
Okay, Bizzle. What's up, Simon 13?
Okay. Thank you.
Is there really strength in numbers? Where am I stronger or solo?
So Duck God.
Great game, brother. Adore their head coach tremendously. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him.
Oh, yeah, I don't understand that question.
Coach. I'm glad we found
Hey, Guatemala, good morning.
Cable Dog 66 November.
Terrific. That caliber.
70 months. Thank you.
Go to different schools.
Well, I don't think addressing it with someone else to gain approvals.
Yes, sir.
Anyone's real motive. Except for when I guess
The line has
Cooper Loves 25.
it ain't like
Cooper Loves.
the line has
one. We're on Twitch. I didn't say anything that's going to get me in trouble. We were on 4. I mean 3.
But it's a struggle to run the ball. It's a struggle.
Like Bonnie Python. I have 15 commandments. 10 commandments.
Figure that out.
Remember that?
Yes, when he drops one. 15. Dude, I thought Monty Python was so funny. I'll bite you to death. Remember when they like cut off all of his limbs?
Yeah.
I'll kick you to death. They chop off his leg. I'll bite you to death.
Opportunity for instant replay, but the catch on the sideline.
Yeah, that was great.
Mhm.
I'm still questioning those things, but
Then like
it
the
is what it is.
like they were advertising like a prequel or like a sequel at the end, or like Hitler on ice, and he's like doing all these tricks. Is Mel Brooks still alive? Holy
He was
shit!
in a cartoon.
He's like 100 if he is.
He's got to be
I
like
think
the 90s.
he was in Transylvania too.
He's 97.
Yeah.
He's alive.
97. God bless him.
Brooklyn.
Laughed a lot.
Wow.
I was surprised to see his name in Transylvania.
I watched Blazing Saddles again about a month ago.
Oh, did you?
You could never fucking play that on. You could never. That would never be acceptable.
It was on network TV.
I mean, I'm just
But
saying.
everything was blanked out.
That's
Every
good.
word was blanked out.
I know. I know. I mean, like.
Highly edited. And interestingly, most of the black jokes are dogging white people in,
Yes.
in the show.
Yes.
Like they're trying to joke the black guys, and the black guys are really joking the white guys.
Yeah.
It's making fun of white people when it makes fun of black people. It doesn't make fun of black people at all.
It makes fun of black people, but it to the point where they're making fun of.
What the hell are you doing?
Strap yourself in. The emotional roller coaster is about to start.
We will give nothing back to the academic community, as well as provide no public service of any kind.
I promise you. Now back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
I gotta get a hold of my boy Adam at Fender Works. Let me off. I think off 118th, down by Big Three Trucks.
What do they do?
He's the one that's painting the Crown Vic flat black and putting the lights on it so that we can, the Crown Vic.
Cool.
Like the Crown Vic is a pretty reliable car. Like if when Sumo and some of my boys come to town, sometimes I let them drive the Crown Vic, but it's just most recently been it's so unsightly. Like, even if you're just here down visiting me, or even the merch cricks just run into the airport, like, it's very unsightly. It looks like like the people that own the vehicle, are really into, like, maybe methamphetamine and crack.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you're a bait fisherman.
I mean, the car, literally, it's not rusted or anything, but the paint's actually flaking off. The entire hood is metal. There's just spotches of white paint. And so my buddy who listens to the show, Bubba Army, Adam from Fender Works, called me, a while back, like a while ago. Him and his wife listened. And he was like, listen, I own this body shop down in, Pinellas Park, Largo, Clearwater deal off 118th. And 118th, like, let me in just, I don't know if that's 60s. I don't know what road that is.
It's 34th Street and 118th.
Yeah, 34th Street and 118th. It's down there by that new overpass. And he says, I own a place called Fender Works, and I do body work, and restorations and things like that. I'd be willing to paint your Crown Vic for you. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So Lummy and I gave him a bunch of lights he's going to put on, and it's actually, we could go through like a drive-through or roll up on like Bubba scratching with the homies, and and it looks like a decent vehicle because it's at least painted the same color, right? I mean, you can't pull up on a car that's white with metal flake, like big sizes of bath sheet metal flakes flipped off. You can't. Nobody's going to take you seriously.
Mm-mm.
I do Bubba's drive-through, Bubba's food review drive-through, Willie, where I go to Arby's and they refuse to go on camera. Lummy.
Yeah.
So we don't have the F-350 anymore. So now we're down to the Crown Vic might be a car that I actually need to drive around. Dan, for that reason, should I not logo it up or logo it up?
I wouldn't.
Why wouldn't you?
I would logo up the I would logo up the smart car like it's kind of sort of meant to be, and I would not logo the Crown Vic.
Why? Because I'm going to be doing the drive-through review with it. I'm already putting lights on it.
Well, how big are the lights?
Pretty big. I mean, they're
does it look like a police car?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to put lights on a car, you don't half-ass it.
I thought they were more like hidden lights, like behind the grill. And
I say logo it up.
Logo it up.
Yeah, logo it up. Then. Yeah, you're right.
And if my friend needs to drive when they're in town, you got to be proud of the Bubba Army.
Yeah.
It's because of the Bubba Army you're driving that damn thing, you son of a bitch. Anyway, I'm going to call you, Adam, today, get an update, because if he needs some more time, like he was trying to get it done, Lummy, for Alex's fight. We all drive in it for Alex's fight on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
But I don't want him to, we can figure out other means of transportation if he can't get it done. I don't want him to push, because he has other customers that he's doing this. He's just doing this one on the side. So he might be real busy right now, and he can't get to he sent me a picture. It's painted. It's already painted. I should probably send it to you, Lummy. Did I send it to you before?
Yeah, we showed that
All
one.
right.
I'll see. You want me to pull it back up?
No, I think there's a new one. I think
think
there's a new one. Let me see here.
So they paint black or white?
It is flat black. It's flat black.
I like flat black.
And then he's supposed to, let me see here. Okay, I gotta go here. Find my boy Adam.
I sent you the picture.
Adam Body Shop. Okay, here alone.
The one I got, just in case.
Here's the newest. Okay, let me see what you got. Because if it might not be the same one that I got. Because I think he's made some progress on it. This is what you got here. Yeah. That's what I got.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So let me show Dan what it looks like now. And again, Dan, it just got out of the spray booth.
Okay, that's cool.
You know, here's a guy who owns a $700,000 Ferrari that says this is cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's cool.
I like the color.
it.
I like the flat black.
Dan, would you pick up the kids in Carline with that?
I just don't pick up the kids in car lines, so I wouldn't do it with it. I wouldn't do it with a
Would you
Maybach.
make Romina?
What about Romina, your wife?
Would Romina do it? No. But now, see, it's going to have lights and stuff on there.
Yeah.
Flashing lights.
It's
nice. You going to do something with the rims?
Yeah, we're going to paint them black, just straight black. That's the way Wiz Triz from Indiana does it. So this is Anna. She conjured this up. This is the meaning of Halloween.
The history,
Country spill in the streets, dressed as fairies, goblins, characters from their favorite movie franchise.
I wonder what's the first country in the first year this happened.
I think it's the Celtic.
And everything in between.
What's the Celtic? Boston?
No, it's like
Boston
the.
Celtics.
Is it Bill Russell?
It was like.
Lummy, did Bill Russell start Halloween?
Bill Russell, Larry Bird were out there.
Yeah. So what now? Where were the Celtics based out of?
I thought it was
thought
Ireland,
Great Britain.
the British Isles, somewhere around there.
Maybe more
the northern British Islands.
The northern part of Great Britain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's where the Celtics were.
Yeah, sure.
Partying and making mischief. But outside of a good time, how many know why they do it?
First of all, okay, let me just say something. Can anybody see what I would be real full hot on this one would? This bitch
Not
ain't
wrapped up.
Yeah, she
handing
ain't
out jelly beans.
She ain't handing out anything wrapped up, and she's got her dirty ass hands.
Right.
It's good.
She's a little hot, so it's okay.
And she's a little hot. Because she could have her husband's penis remnants in her hand.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know,
disgusting.
Next thing you know, your kid's eating candy penis.
Yeah.
So the Celtic people,
How many
by the
know
way,
why?
were from Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Cornwall, the Isle of Man, and Brittany.
Thank you for the correction.
Northern
They do
England.
it. Today, Halloween is a $1 billion industry.
Billion?
But exactly how did it get there?
Yeah, which pales in comparison to the child trafficking industry.
Group of them's 25.
Well,
on the
today,
number.
I want to see the video that says Halloween's just a cog behind child trafficking.
Halloween is synonymous with commercialism. It wasn't always that way. The word Halloween comes from the words hollow, meaning holy person,
Wiener.
and een, deriving as a contraction of Eve. And All Hallows Eve finds its origins all the way back in the time of the ancient Celtic pagans.
There you go, Lummy. Dan, you, Celtic.
The holiday of Samhain, a 3-day fire festival that essentially celebrated death and rebirth.
Firefest.
The Celts, who
Bahamas flop.
lived in what is now Ireland, Scotland, the
All right,
UK.
so this is where it first started, right up here in the really, really northeastern part of Great Britain.
Well, Great Britain's
And
actually
parts of
the
northern-
island next to
Well,
it.
what's the entire
It's
island?
British Isles are those
It's
two
all
things.
the-
All right. So
Then you
the
have
very-
Great Britain, which is the one
Got
on the
it.
left, or
Thanks.
on the right,
Then you got Ireland.
and then
Scotland.
You can
That's
probably say
technically
Europe.
It
Northern
started
Ireland.
in the northeastern part of the British Isles.
Yes.
In Europe, based their calendar on the Wheel of a Year, essentially divided into two halves, the light and the dark. When one gave way to the other, this transition was marked by a fire festival. The word Samhain
So I guess it looks like as they're transitioning
to winter,
to winter, where it's darker sooner and not as much light, is when they have this big 3-day burn everything down celebration.
translates in the modern Irish to Summer's End. Samhain celebrated the dead, and particularly the celebratory feast paid homage to loved ones who had passed away recently.
Yeah, so you paying loved ones.
Essentially as an invitation for their spirits to rejoin the living. Many of Samhain's original rituals have been lost, but what we do know of their holiday traditions
Where's the candy come in?
They'll explain it.
from Celtic folklore
Maybe.
and ancient Roman historians is that they were intended to
I want to know where the candy is.
Me too.
connect them to spirits, including costumes, most likely animal or furs to help them hide from the unfriendly ones, feasting, and making lanterns from hollowed-out gourds, seemingly the birth of the modern pumpkin jack-o'-lantern. Sacrifices, generally of crops or animals, were made during this time as an offering to the spirits. It was popular for tricks or pranks to be played
I mean, it sounds like a real devilish kind of deal. This might be the most shadiest holiday of all, and we don't really
absolutely is.
We don't appreciate how shady it really is. I like shady stuff.
Absolutely.
by humans and blamed on mischievous spirits.
Man, the inventors of Halloween were some sick bastards. To be like, listen, you're going to pull pranks on your neighbors and they're going to blame it on some spirits. Really, you're going to do it?
As a result of the Roman invasion, with most of the Celtic land being conquered by Rome in 43 CE, the spread of
I didn't know Rome came in there and took that.
Oh yeah, under Julius Caesar.
Yep, he was
Right?
the last people that conquered it. To be honest with you,
He rolled up in
it's
there.
been 2,000 years. You can't conquer England. It's all that coastal area. It's just really difficult to conquer England. England's protected.
Julius Caesar did he? As far as the
I
Romans,
believe so.
He sure did.
Now, how long did the Romans were in before they got pushed back out?
How often do you think of Rome?
Never.
I think about it all the time,
Yeah,
Dad.
you do.
I don't.
You sure you
I
do.
care less about Rome.
What?
Think about it.
Christianity and Catholicism would force pagan Celtic traditions
I
to
don't think about Christianity or Catholicism or pagans or Celtics or no. I think of the Boston Celtics. Larry Bird.
evolve or be completely repressed. In part, many Celtic traditions and popular pagan practice.
Man, it looked like people were real stupid back then. Look at all mouths are all open.
Well, interestingly, art didn't really have the three-dimensionality that we have now. So, before people like Leonardo da Vinci, the Renaissance, art was really like two-dimensional. And so they didn't have proportion.
Who was the first dude to paint 3D?
Pretty much it was, Michelangelo and
like as soon as a
Da
guy
Vinci.
like Michelangelo threw out a 3D deal, did everybody freak out and be like, whoa,
Yeah,
we've never seen a
sculptures and stuff.
I know sculptures are one thing, but painting 3D is far different.
Way different.
And popular pagan practices were
sculptures. Anybody can sculpt.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they can.
Sure, I
not
can.
anybody.
Silly.
Not everybody can draw. Three-dimensional willies
They're
like
both.
framed to fit
Highly
within a
skilled.
Christian narrative as a way of converting people with greater comfort and ease. Samhain would evolve into All Saints' Day, which was
So
all
they would go from the devil to
There's the All Saints Day. That's the religious holiday I was
Now
referring to.
this is the good guy day, right?
Mhm.
Goes from the bad guy to the good guy. Now, who was the good guy in the Celtic? Within their world, was it God? Was it Muhammad?
Well, they were pagan, so they probably believed in many gods.
Believed in Miguel, Holly and Miguel,
Kevin McHale.
Kevin
Also
McHale,
referred to
Larry
as
Bird.
Kevin McHale.
Yeah, Larry
Yeah,
Bird.
there you go. Kevin McHale, you're our God.
All Hallows' Day.
How about Quinn Buckner? Was he in there?
He was the other one.
And was intended to be a day to celebrate the Christian saints and martyrs. Essentially, instead of honoring pagan gods and mischievous spirits, they now celebrated Christian figures.
Man, I like that holiday where you switch.
They did that with Christmas.
It starts out, you're really, really, really putting over the dead spirit, the dark side of the world. Then you flip it and go, real Christian-y, real
They did that with Christmas. Maybe I can ask Lemmy a question since he's the biblical scholar.
Yeah.
Lemmy, wasn't Christ born during the harvest?
Yes.
Like in October
Yeah,
around
he wasn't
then?
born in December.
Right. And so there was already a pagan holiday that happened in Christmas. And so to kind of get everybody on board, we're like, listen, we want to do the Christmas with our Jesus Christ. How about we just celebrate it during a pagan holiday that already exists? And they're like, all right. So it's
I
December
love
25th.
Christian history by Anna Hummel.
Am I?
Well, the sacrifices were replaced by
I looked it up.
Oh, geez.
food offerings for the poor.
Hold on, food for the poor, buddy. Now they're throwing a little. Now they're throwing a little Thanksgiving in there. Look at this.
The tricks and pranks continued, but instead they were now attributed to the spirits of the saints.
So you do good tricks on people.
Halloween evolved as a more secular version of All Hallows' Eve. And eventually, it would become more
sluts.
popular in common practice than All Saints' Day.
Yeah, I'd be like, man, we love celebrating the shady part, but man, when we got to flip it over on day 2 and 3 and pay homage to the good guy, that just sucks.
I want to go to a party. I don't want to have to go to church.
Right. I want to go to a party where this bitch is letting her kitty hang out.
Exactly. With pasties.
Right, exactly. Painted.
While Halloween has its
Can you
origin
imagine these whores all dressed up scantily?
I can imagine that one in the
in the
middle.
British
Yeah,
Isles,
kinda
please.
cute.
She's got 4 bed sheets on.
there's a great disparity in its popularity in former British colonies. The Puritans who came to colonize America were Protestant and did not celebrate holidays of the Catholic Church, as they were believed to lead to idolatry.
Hey, hold on. Think about this right here.
The stockade.
I mean, that would purely suck. And didn't they
That
make
would
it so you had to
purely
be on
suck.
your tiptoes? I think they
Probably.
made it so that you just couldn't stand there flat-footed. I think they tiptoed you.
Well, and also it was for ridicule as much as it was painful.
Oh, it was?
Oh, yeah. People would come by and mock you and heckle you.
So sometimes they didn't put you in there for death. They just put you in there for a few hours.
Public shaming.
Everybody in town square had to go say,
your head off.
"Hey, Dan, what'd you do to get in there, buddy?"
It was mostly for shame and for public, acknowledgement of your
wrongdoing.
Of your wrongdoings,
Right.
yes.
Days of the Catholic Church, as they were believed to lead to idolatry. In the early days of the American colonies, celebrations of Halloween were mostly forbidden as they were deemed too pagan or too Catholic by the Protestant colonies.
The Protestants, Bubba, here's a distinction between Protestants and Catholics, aside from the Pope, because what they're saying is that the Protestants thought the Catholic religion led to idols. So if you see a cross with Jesus on it, that's Catholic. If you see a cross without Jesus on it, that's more Protestant. That's one of the big distinctions. Yeah,
Catholics really liked Jesus.
They liked
dead
Jesus on the cross.
They love Jesus. Catholics go crazy for Jesus.
But so do Christians. But Christians don't have that
imagery.
They just don't have the imagery. Yes.
But the Catholics really want Jesus up there with his legs pinned together and his arms arms coast to coast.
Yeah, crown of thorns.
I don't think I've ever been to a Catholic church that they don't have Jesus all.
Oh, they do. Almost every one of them does. Behind the altar. And when you have a Catholic kid, they have a cross on their neck. It's going to have Jesus on it. And if you have a Lutheran kid
does your kid wear a cross?
Danny and Sophia both wear crosses
with Jesus.
Danny's has Jesus, Sophia's has diamonds, which is just as good.
Though elements of it began to incorporate into secular harvest-related events in the 1800s. The mid-19th century saw a large influx of immigrants entering the country, especially Irish immigrants who were greatly impacted by the potato famine.
All right.
With these people came Halloween customs out of which one of America's favorite holidays was formed.
Hold on here.
Sluts
and candy.
In keeping with the mischief, children would dress in costumes and be given money or fruit for artistic offerings like poetry.
How about that game where you got to bite the apple off the string that's hanging from a clothesline? Man, you guys are real.
Did you ever do bobbing for apples?
Yes.
Oh my God, that was so gross. Looking back,
we did. We did bobbing for dildos on the serious shows.
Oh, interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Never
Much
played that
better,
as a
Bob.
kid.
We did bobbing in vodka also.
Yeah, we poured up the whole tub was vodka. And we were in
Lummy's dream.
Yeah, Lummy Lummy wasn't even trying to bite anything. He was just sucking it down.
Just took a straw in there.
Songs or even jokes instead of prayer.
Lummy was just biting the water like a dog. He's like
lapping it up.
By the late 19th century, children were playing seemingly innocuous pranks on their small local communities. Adults would soon find incentive to dissuade children from playing pranks.
No, they wouldn't.
They beat them.
Enter trick-or-treat.
Trick-or-treat, yeah.
The 20th
okay.
century would finally see the commercialization of Halloween. By the 1920s and 30s, Halloween merchandise evolved to pre-made costumes for both children and adults.
Yeah, when we were growing up, man, all your mom had to do was go down to the department store and you could be, Lee Majors, or you could be Planet of the Apes, or you could be anybody, because they had that plastic mask and then some little outfit.
Plastic costume.
Yeah. And it literally was the cheapest made ever. Cost your mom about $4 or $5, and that's all you needed.
And it probably would not last all night.
No, it will not.
It would just disintegrate.
By the end of the night, the strap that kept the mask on your face had broken.
It always broke.
Yes, it always broke because it was made out of some real cheap China elastic.
After World War II in the 1950s, the economic boom had candy manufacturers getting on the Halloween bandwagon. Movies and TV are also largely responsible for the proliferation of Halloween as a mass-market holiday. Cinemas in the 50s offered scary movie festivals. And in the 60s, the new television industry began running Halloween specials during Halloween season.
I think
By 2015, the National Retail Federation predicted...
I've heard enough, thanks.
So we learned the origins.
But we all grew up. I think every one of us grew up. And I forget what the guy's name at home was. It was something...
Dr. Paul Bearer?
No.
Oh.
See, you guys had probably regionally the Dr. Paul Bearer guy who on like Saturday nights would be on this like channel 32.
Yeah, local.
And he'd have like, he'd play like,
CW.
He would play like you had some guy that dressed it up. I forget what the guy in Indiana's name was. I think his name was like something Terry.
Scary Terry.
Scary Terry or something like that. And all through Indiana, man, he would do appearances too during Halloween. You could go meet Scary Terry or whatever the hell the guy's name was for like $5, get your Polaroid with him and everything. But he was like a big star. And he literally would only come on the air and be like, it's Scary Terry. And you're in the middle of watching Freddy Krueger's.
Yeah, we had the exact same thing. I didn't realize that was regional.
That was
down here.
Yeah.
Hold on, it was very regional, and they, like, you know, Georgia and Alabama, and they all probably had one guy. And that would be an interesting Google search, like the regional. I forget. I gotta find the Indiana. Sumo would know the Indiana guy's name. His name was Terry something, and it was just basically a middle-aged.
Sammy Terry?
It might have been Sammy Terry. Send that to me. And it was basically a middle-aged, creepy guy who was just being a creep.
Mm-hmm.
And all he would do is intro these stupid, creepy movies that he was playing. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre and, you know, all these
the original Frankenstein and the Mummy with Abbott and Costello.
All these real crappy-ass movies from the 40s and 50s that were from the 60s that were supposed to scare you. And he would just sit there, you know, probably taped them on Thursday afternoon, right? You know, he wasn't even live from the studios.
God, no.
The Paul Bearer character down here, he had something happen to his face. I don't know if it was something that happened as an accident back in the day, but he had like a glass eye, and his face was all messed up.
That even validated
he was even more creepy looking.
Right.
He would also do appearances, drove a hearse and all that.
Right.
Awesome. I sent you a video. It's a newer one, but I think I found the older one.
The city of Tampa has
Indiana, Sammy Terry.
Yes, that would Lummy. Yes. This is it.
I found one from the 60s.
Hold on. This is the guy I grew up with, Dan, as being the bad guy on Saturday night on some obscure television station to intro in horror movies.
Ellis, Tom Ellis, you escaped my escape room at the Key Haunted Escape Rooms. Very well.
See, and this guy had his own line of escape rooms, like from city to city, and like cities would have him come in and do appearances, and then you would be kind of scared to go up there and see him. That's how I remember him right there.
I sent you one from the 60s.
Oh wow. Is it the same guy, or is it just changed?
It always the same guy.
It's the same guy.
Yeah, and like
imagine hosting a charity.
He would be at the mall, you know, like during Halloween, and you could go get your picture taken with him for like $5. And like sometimes kids would be crying because they wanted to go when they were at the house, but once they got there and saw him, you'd be like,
yesterday,
Mom, I don't want to go. And your mom would be like, I drove, and like the mall from our house was an hour. I drove all the way up here for an hour because you've been killing me about getting your picture taken with Scary Terry. And now I was that kid. I was like in 3rd or 4th grade, and I was like, Mom, we got to go see Scary Terry. Scary Terry's in Fort Wayne this Saturday from noon to 3 in the center court. Mom, I got to go see Scary Terry. Mom, I got to go see Scary Terry. Mom, I got to go see Scary Terry. Mom, will you take me to go see Scary Terry? Well, maybe. Just behave. And then that would give your mom a whole excuse for you to have to behave for the entire week. You'd have to be like, you'd be walking lightly all week because, you know, she could be like, okay, I'm not taking you to Scary Terry now. So you'd be a good boy. Maybe even help her do the dishes and just, you know, like maybe do extra chores around the house because she'd be holding that Scary Terry gimmick over your head. Oh, you don't want to help Mom clean you don't want to help do dishes today? You don't want to do that? Well, maybe I don't want to take you to Scary Terry on Saturday. Okay, I'll do whatever you want. I want to go see Scary Terry. So we go to see Scary Terry, and there's a line probably from here to maybe the HVAC front door across the street, Lummy, right?
Oh, yeah, huge lines, more than Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah. So, and there were all, and you were, if you wanted to, you could wear your outfit. You could wear your costume outfit and get a picture with Scary Terry, or you could just go in your standard street clothes, right? Well, I just went in my standard street clothes, but I was wanting, as soon as we got there, I'm like, Mom, because there wasn't a lot of kids who had street clothes. Most kids had costumes on.
Oh, you were like
I was like, Mom, can we go down to Montgomery Ward and you buy me like a Superman costume or something? Because everybody's, no, I can't buy. You already have a costume for tonight. You're gonna be a
hobo.
Yeah,
you got a stick and some chalk.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be you're gonna be a Native American. I have like a bow and arrow, and we already got it picked out. Yeah, but so then as you get closer and closer to Scary Terry, for you meeting him, you can see him closer and closer and closer, and then it gets to about 5 away from you to meet Scary Terry, and then it sets in. I'm fixing to meet Scary Terry. And then I remember I told him, I can't remember, my sister was 1 and I was 6 or 5. And I start crying. I don't want to see Scary Terry, Mom. I don't want to see Scary Terry. I'm crying. Mom, please, Mom, please don't make me go see Scary Terry. Please, Mom, please. She's like, but we've stood in line now for 45 minutes. Tara, who's a baby and she's in a little stroller.
She's not crying.
She's being good because Tara had colic. So she was a cry. She cried all the time, and Mom finally had her all settled. Mom's sitting there waiting in line, probably smoking a Doral. I think you could smoke back then in the mall. I think you could smoke right in the mall back in the day. And so then Scary Terry comes up, and I can remember like it was nothing. His knee was so warm because of all these kids that were sitting on it. I can remember like his knee being like 150, and then he was like, "What's your name?" I'd be like, Todd. My name's Todd. Todd, what channel do you watch us, Todd? Channel 4 out of Bloomington. Channel 4, that's a great station, Todd. Okay, well, look at the camera and get a Scary Terry picture, Todd. And then you go and you get off his knee and your mom would take you over to the Polaroid girl. And the Polaroid girl was waiting for it to develop.
She was shaking it?
Yeah, she was shaking like a Polaroid picture. She had Andre 5000 on. and then they would say, they would give you, they would stick it like in a commemorative folder, like a Halloween scary little folder.
Halloween 1977.
Yeah. It'd been like a Halloween 1974. 77, yeah. So I remember then the next year, the next door neighbor, Brent Marshall, he wanted to go see Scary Terry, and he kept telling his mom, Dixie, I want to go see Scary Terry. I want to see. So I told Brent, it's stupid. You're not going to like it. Don't go. We can have more fun skipping rocks and playing on the train tracks.
Ruined it for him.
Than going to see this weirdo. His knee's 150. He may have touched my pee-pee. I don't know.
Hot knee Terry.
I sent you Paul Bear that Dr. Dan watched and read.
Yeah,
myself.
I think he was a little scarier than
he was way better.
Sammy Terry.
I mean, nothing against Terry, but he was way better. Yesterday, in the city of Tampa was National Dr. Paul Bearer Day.
Hold on though, but in Indiana, man,
introducing the Onion.
You guys probably had a little bit more of society to find a. We just Indiana, man. You just got what you got. We didn't have a lot of high production stuff here. You know what I'm saying? Now this was Dr. Paul Bear. This was your equivalent.
This is our guy.
To Scary Terry. Now was he over too?
Oh yeah, he'd do appearances all over town.
Oh yeah. I mean, he was over.
They made a holiday in 1993. Tampa Mayor Sandy Friedman declared October 30th Paul Bearer Day.
We discussed that before the game.
Yeah. What is that?
After the game.
That's Dion.
Real ones. He's one of the good ones, and
talking about practice.
Knows what he's doing, so I could glean a lot.
His press conference.
Sorry, Dion over Dr. Paul Bear. That'd be a hell of a combo. Hey, Dr. Paul Bear, what do you think about this new scary movie, man? I gotta tell you, growing up in North Fort Myers, man, we did not like scary movies. Let me tell you something, Dion. This movie is so scary, man. It's gonna make you run faster than you already run. Man, I gotta tell you, I run pretty fast, Paul Bear. But if I watch one of your stupid movies, I'll run faster probably. So he had his own intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, of like sitting on a hearse. I mean, it looks like at all the parades he was way over.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
So, and Danny, like kids your age and kids Lummy's age all grew up with Dr. Paul Bearer, right?
Yes, 100%.
On channel like more
44.
44,
channel 44.
Yep, WTOG.
And on either Friday or Saturday nights, like starting at 11 or 12, he'd start playing these kooky ass movies that he just introed, right? But he became a star just on he probably had 30 to 45 seconds every 15 to 20 minutes. That's
he did a total of maybe 8 minutes of video for the entire day, and that was just enough.
Right.
Good afternoon, and welcome to
Creature Feature.
Channel 44's Creature Feature.
As a kid, you're like, oh, yeah.
We're so excited.
You had your pajamas on, and you were bouncing around the couch because it was creature feature, and you're hoping your mom and dad didn't come in or whip your ass.
And now, your ghost, Dr. Paul Bearer.
He was like 6'5".
Well, good afternoon, whatever you are, and welcome.
Looks like he should be working at a scrapyard.
To the tenement castle of Dr. Paul Bearer. So nice to sit down in the uneasy chair in my unliving room.
Just some guy that can never make it as a stand-up, right?
A little late today.
Like if Gargiulo was to be the guy.
Well, I stopped by one of those quickie food joints and picked up, thought I'd try some chicken McMaggots today. Well, I mean.
And deep down, Dan, maybe in today's world, McDonald's might be able to sue him for, defamation of their product, right?
Maybe, yeah.
See how these things taste anyway. Very tasty. So while I enjoy my chicken McMaggots, maybe you can enjoy our horrible old movie for today. And believe me, it's really horrible, or my name isn't Dr. Paul Bearer.
It's horrible.
His eyes were all messed up.
Yeah, he had a glass
eye, so it was really sketchy.
Yeah, when you saw him in person, he was rough.
Did any of you guys ever meet him in real life?
I was too young.
No.
I think he passed away late 90s, early 2000s.
Don't forget to submit your Bubba Army pics if you'd like to have them shown behind me. I think it's bubbaarmypics@gmail.com. Lummy, today at 10:30, we have the Great Tech 9.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the Great Tech 9 at 10:30 for the after show. Yesterday's after show is available only on our podcast, so wherever you get your podcasting stuff, just type in The Bubba Army, and it was about Peter North's load, king of the load. Now, Peter North's been known to get a load of mulch in his pickup truck, Lummy, and have a load of laundry.
Of course. Extended bed,
so however
F-350.
You want to interpret Peter North's load, I have seen Peter North's load.
Have I.
No, I've not seen it physically, but I've watched many movies about it, and we used to have Peter North in all the time. Remember, Lummy?
Yeah.
And he has a certain technique where he gets 8 shovelfuls of his load, and we got quite extensively into that. That's our podcast that you might want to go. It's filth. It's very filthy. And Lummy, maybe next week we can get into all the illicit ass I scored in my various VIP. I think I had 9 clubs total over the years.
Wow.
And not all of them had VIP rooms, but a lot of them did. So maybe next Monday, Lummy, we hold off the if the VIP rooms of my various clubs could talk. We kind of maybe do that next Monday.
Sweet.
All right.
Hey, everybody, listen up.
Come on, you're listening to the one and only
Bubba the Love Sponge!
Oh my God.
Bubba the Love Sponge, baby.
The Bubba the Love Sponge show returns after these words.
You sure will. Good for lips.
It's lunchtime.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you so much.
What's up, Ruth? What's up, Rudy? What's up, referee Fred? Stumpy 62.
Stizzums. Morning for you, Joe.
Taking you back to change.
Taking you back to the time. Think you boys gonna be partying tonight?
What?
Think you boys gonna be partying tonight?
Yeah.
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 Is there really strength in numbers?
Or am I stronger solo?
Unlock yourself, Group, the most advanced fitness coach.
Yeah, why not?
They got the best.
I bet.
They took it from CBS and all the
Yeah, it's all
First and foremost,
it's all freshly stolen.
Great game by the UCLA Bruins. Adore their head coach tremendously. Have a tremendous amount of respect for him. He's a great coach. First,
Always safety.
I think we did last week too.
They're putting pedophile signs out. Good morning, Farba.
Barba, he's
Gator,
walking.
Getting kicks for guns, 2 hours.
Burning
Thank you.
calories.
Yinzer. In Florida. They get a reward.
Farba.
It's a full orders after birth.
Still over your job.
Rodolfo Rivera.
Rudy.
Good morning, Rivera.
Who wants to join Goober Lips and T-shirt Will? Oh yeah, we got it. 575. Fish on J.
Yeah, Big Reese because he's a fucking hypocrite. What's up, Mike Hat? Thank you, Fish on J. You as well.
Tech 9 plays this Saturday, right?
Where?
At the casino. Or the Hard Rock.
This Saturday.
Yep.
I think with Hollywood Undead.
He sure does. I think he's in he's somewhere in Texas right now. He's calling from Texas. And Halloween is his favorite holiday.
I've baked a cake before, but like 3 times a
Bake the cake 3 times a year? Someone asked you that?
month. Maybe, yeah. Baked cake.
No, Bubba, it's the 15th. November 15th, 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Warner Brothers again.
Oh, what are you eating?
What's it to you?
Sugar's.
Just want to know.
Some leftover tacos from last night. I broke my fast. I was on my 18th and a half hour.
Dude, that's so amazing. It's a long time.
Last time I ate was noon.
Jesus.
That was the first, other than one monster this morning, 0 calorie monster. I had.
The following presentation has been closed captioned.
Great visual. I'll make sure of that.
Welcome to the revolution.
It's a remarkable achievement.
His perception becomes becomes your reality.
Check this out.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
We all have a heartfelt reason to support our blood pressure. In fact, more than half of the U.S. population would benefit from some sort of blood pressure support. Paired with a healthy lifestyle, the antioxidants in Super Beets are clinically shown to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than just a healthy lifestyle in itself. Over 30,000 5-star reviews and counting. It's the number one Super Beets. Again, Super Beets is the number one doctor, pharmaceutical, pharmacists, and cardiologists recommended chew for cardiovascular health. It's blood support that you can trust. Support your health or your heart health with Super Beet Heart Chews. Get a free 30-day supply of Super Beet Heart Chews and a full-size bag of turmeric.
Turmeric.
Which is also good for your livers and all of your digestive
organs.
There you go. It's valued at $25, and it all starts and stops with going to BubbaLovesBeats.com. This exclusive offer is, again, only at BubbaLovesBeats, BEETS.com. Thank you, Super Beets. Lummy today at 10:30 during the after show, which I think is distributed, pretty much everywhere where we're distributed now.
Yes.
I think.
Yes, sir.
So the only thing we do is during the after show, we just turn off the terrestrial radio portion. They go on and do their midday shows, and then we turn it on, and it's completely streaming only, and we can say the F word, and the C word, and the D word, and the V word, and the P word, and the R word. Well, we can't say the R word.
The L word.
The R word.
Is it L?
What's scandalous about L?
We were talking about it. Peter North.
You can say loads.
Okay.
We're not describing what type of loads.
Okay. Can you say labia?
You can say labia here if you use it in a clinical term.
Okay.
If you're like, hi, my name's Dr. Dan, I'm a plastic surgeon, and I've been known to do labia reduction, then you can say it because, it's a medical procedure, and I think that is what the actual body part is called medically.
Correct.
Not a lip.
Nope.
Or not anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lip.
Curtain.
Not a beef curtain. Not bat wings.
Kelp.
A roast beef sandwich sponsored by Arby's. Steak 'em.
Mm-hmm. Seaweed.
Ew.
Yeah.
Seaweed. So anyway, on today's after show where we can speak a little more freely, we'll have Tech 9 is appearing at the Hard Rock Casino on the 15th of November.
With Hollywood Undead.
MLB chooses T-Mobile for Business for 5G solutions.
This thing
to
keeps
not only
firing
enhance
and
the fan
firing
experience,
itself, Lummy. It's
but to advance
Dion's
how
press
the game is
conference after getting beat by UCLA. I might as well play it because it just keeps wanting to fire and fire. So if I
they
play
really
it,
want you to play it.
if I play it, Lummy, then I can, take
Exit
it
out.
Yeah. I really did like Dion's. It seems like he might be switching gears a little bit with regards to being a little more humble.
That's good.
It's hard to be super amped up when you lose 3 or 4 games.
I know, but here's the
in a
deal.
streak.
You saw yesterday with Shiloh that after he administered a questionable hit, I still think the hit's legal, but I think a lot of what got him disqualified was his antics and.
The referee was trying to call yesterday. He texted me, the real referee.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He said that the hit was not legal according to college standards, and everything he did after had nothing to do with his ejection.
So his ejection solely was on the hit in itself.
Because you got to remember, the hit goes up to the booth, too, and they watch it on instant replay before they throw him out.
Right.
Can I ask another dumb question just to clarify something here?
Yeah.
If you get thrown out of a game, don't you have to miss half the next game too or something?
Sometimes, yeah.
Depends. Does it depend on how hard you get thrown out of the game?
I think it depends on a couple different things. One, have you had any of these, like the guy from Minnesota, was it, the Packers played, was it Minnesota this week?
Yeah.
A guy from Minnesota got thrown out of the game for targeting, and it wasn't really that bad of a target, but it was a target enough. But since it was his third one of the year, he definitely got ejected, and he's going to get fined now. But it was his third one of the year. So I think if you get your first one, Dan, you might not get ejected.
Or you just get ejected for that game, not subsequently.
Yeah, I think it has to do with how much you've been doing.
Yeah, Bubba's got,
first-time offenders probably won't get the next game. Multiple game offenders might get the next game.
Referee Fred said something interesting, Bubba.
Yeah.
He said that he will be able to play in the next game because he was disqualified in the first half. So I guess if you get disqualified in the second half, that affects your the subsequent game.
You got to get a complete half in. So, I mean, the penalty is a complete football half. If you've already, into the second half, already played 4 minutes, then it's not going to be a complete half that you've been suspended, right?
Right. Yeah. Somewhere between a half and a whole.
So if you're going to get out, you're going to get thrown out in the first half, because if you get thrown out in the second half, you're going to get thrown out in the first half of the next game.
Yeah, might as well get it in.
Might as well get it in. So but I really appreciated Deion's. I really appreciate what he's had some struggles with some of these coaches that he's played that's taunted him and things like that. And when he gets a guy that he respects, he comes. I think if you get beat like Deion did today or Saturday, and you come out baby facing on the coach and the program, I think that sets a really good tone. I think that's a good look. I really do.
Mm-hmm. Great game by the UCLA Bruins. I adore their head coach tremendously. Have a tremendous amount of respect for him.
By the way, watching Deion address the media right after getting beat by UCLA. Was that 28-16 or something like that?
Yeah, it was not pretty.
Great coach. I'm glad we finally got our contest over so I could call him and get advice from time to time. We discussed that before the game and after the game. He's one of the real ones. He's one of the good ones, and he knows what he's doing. So I could glean a lot from him. Today.
See, now, I think, Dan, that's a really good way to disarm maybe some people that might be leaning towards being a little prick on you. I think you can disarm some of the potential hater questions you're going to get when you come out that strong on the other coach.
Well, and that's a technique. When you say after you've been beaten, you give respect to the team that beat you. That implies that you're a good team and you got beat by a good team.
Right.
So when you say, the team that beat you sucks and it was BS, it's like, oh my, you got beat by a bunch of jobbers. So
it just sets a tone.
Complimenting the team that beat you, complimenting the coaching staff that beat you, saying you have respect for them. That's the way a man walks off the field after a defeat.
Yeah.
That's how you do it with class and grace. This is an example of what people like, you got thuggish. It's fun when you win, but your character is defined when you lose.
By when you lose.
Yes.
Yeah,
and so you leave. And I was trying to teach that to the kids this year.
It's easy to, it's easy to have a press conference when you win. It's not necessarily that easy as a head coach, a high profile at that, to have a press conference when you get your ass kicked.
Correct. And to do it with, calmness, grace, respect. And that's how competition is supposed to be. You fight like hell on the field, and then afterwards you shake hands and say, good game. You did a good job. We did a good job. Everyone's happy, and you move on to the next game. That's how professionals do it.
I'm proud of the kids. I really am proud of these young men. They hung in there as long as they could.
And Lummy, really Deion is really frustrated because where they're losing all of their ball games, all of them, is their offensive line. That is, and what maybe this should show you, anybody that's a casual NCAA football fan, or not really up to like me, Rhett, Dan, Lummy, like we're really into football. We know the ins and outs, and we certainly, Lummy, you and I probably having played it, know the importance offensive and defensive lines. As much as you want to bring Brady in, as much as you want to bring Rodgers in, but offensive and defensive lines win ball games or lose ball games.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, the Packers are 2-5 because they're literally on ass bucket fourth string rookie left tackle, who I swear to God, Lummy, I think I could do better.
And Deion even says in this press conference that they need new linemen. So I think Shedeur Sanders got sacked 7 times on Saturday.
He's
the
either
most
the most sacked or second most sacked quarterback in the entire football hemisphere of college.
I think the most.
And the guy's good, but you're only as when you got a guy when you cannot go through your normal reads, drop back 5 to 7, and the first part of succeeding in the play that you've drawn up is your quarterback being able to drop back and set his feet however many yards you've determined that it's between in football, Lummy. In college and high school football, it's usually 3-5-7.
Yes, 3-5-7.
That's what it is. 3-5-7. You got 3-yard drop back, which could be your quick hitters. You got 5, which are your mid. Then you got 7, where you're going to launch a bomb, or 7, where you're going to try to maybe create a screen. So you go way back so the offensive linemen kind of leak the defensive guys, and the defensive guy thinks, oh, my God, we're going to get a sack. Meanwhile, you've put, Get Fresh Ronnie and the running back crew over there to the right, Lummy.
There are 3 linemen.
All the linemen have kind of trickle-lated over there, and you got yourself a screen.
Well, if you look at Tom Brady's last year in Tampa, he had a good year, but it would have been better. But his offensive line wasn't as good.
So, Deion literally, if he had... Like in 3 years from now, when the people that he has recruited, his freshmen, are juniors, his linemen that he's getting now he's getting competitive linemen now through the portal and through recruiting, but it's going to take Lummy, that true freshman that's the number 1 lineman in Texas that committed to Colorado for next year. He's a 3-year, at least a 2-year project from being a starter.
Most offensive linemen stay all 4 years.
And the thing with offensive linemen, too, you can be solid, but, consistency is what's going to start to show the cracks on some of these guys. Like, even in the NFL, the rookie the Bucs have, Cody Mauch, he was top dog at North Dakota State, one of the best O-linemen in that division of, FBS, Lummy, I think it is?
Yeah,
in the history.
Yeah, but he comes into the NFL. And it's going to take him a few games. He looks good for 3 games, but once you get 4, 5, 6, 7 games into it, you start to see him slow down.
Packers are chocked full of rookie offensive linemen. And Deion has the speed. He's got the quarterback. He's got the corner. Got a decent running back, decent wide receivers. They could be up. They would be, Lummy, they would be 5-2 had they just had an offensive lineman.
Yeah, a little bit better offensive line.
Offensively, we got to improve. You see that. Quarterback is taking his beating. He got an injection at halftime. Probably shouldn't tell you that, but I'm 100.
Shador was taking pain blocking and injections at halftime because he'd been sacked 4 times at that time. Deion said, I probably shouldn't have told you that, but I'm 100.
And just to block some of the pain, so I'm going to give him the next few days off so he could at least be mobile, because I know once that block is off, he's going to feel it tonight. We got to do a better job of protecting him, running the football. I know we had a couple linemen go down, but there's no excuses. Got to be next man up, so we got to have enough depth to be able to accomplish the goals that we set out to accomplish. Special teams, Mata was terrific. Mata was unbelievable. That is who he is.
All right, so he breaks down and goes through some of the good things. One thing that happened is somebody broke into the the Colorado football teams, all bling bling. A lot of them got NILs, and they all got gold and jewelry and platinum and diamonds. And I think Shador's got a $200,000 or $300,000 watch, and he's got like this big platinum chain with the big number 2 and a dollar sign that looks like it might be worth $1 million. And they're real flashy. And Deion, I don't necessarily know that I would be letting my team roll around like that, but that's Deion. That's Deion.
Neil Mount was there, 25 on the Venmo.
And so their locker room got thieved.
Yeah.
Is this right here? Let me right here.
Yeah, that's a news story from.
All right, hold on. So somebody broke into the locker room and stole a bunch of the players' jewelry. And now, does it break down who got what stolen? Because I think Shador has the nicest stuff, but maybe he had his locked up.
It didn't break it down.
To UCLA, at least 5 Colorado football players say they had jewelry and other valuables taken from their locker at the Rose Bowl. According to Sports Illustrated, the heist happened sometime during the game.
This happened to Dion when he was at Jackson State.
It did. Yeah, that's right.
Saturday night, and the thieves were able to take at least 3 diamond and gold chains worth thousands of dollars. UCLA police are actively investigating the incident, but so far there are no leads on suspects.
It wasn't the other team.
UCLA, at least 5 Colorado football players.
Why wouldn't you?
It was
as a universe. No, it's not the other team.
No,
it's just a bunch of thugs.
At
I mean,
the
it's
facility.
LA.
It's
the
LA.
facility. It could have been literally anybody.
It was probably an inside job with the security personnel.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably an inside job with the people that work security.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy, Fred, and Jerome were in charge of watching the Colorado, locker room. And Freddie, Jeremy, and Joe, whatever, they're in on the deal. And Freddie and Joe go inside while Jerome watches and stands guard, and he goes and pilfers through it. Now, I know you probably can't camera up locker rooms, but my God, maybe you should. I know guys got their wing, exactly. Maybe just the entrance.
Mm-hmm. There's probably more than one. Also,
the entrance would be great on it because at least you could find out who walked in there.
Right.
But a lot of people go through that entrance during a game.
Yeah, but I mean,
you could time it though.
Mm-hmm. Thing is that these guys bring their jewelry because they leave it in their dorm or whatever, it's going to get stolen too. And so, nice jewelry grows legs. Rolexes grow legs. They just walk. You put them down. The best way to lose a Rolex is to take it off. And so when you have stuff like this and you have kids that will never, ever, 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 ever see this kind of money, they're making $15 an hour and they have no path to success, and they see a $5,000 gold and diamond necklace, that's going in their pocket 100 out of 100 times. I don't blame them. You can't have kids with this kind of economic disparity not be jealous. When you have kids in college, because the point of college was everyone's equal. That was the whole point and the original goal of college.
Were you hated because you drove a Porsche?
No, I drive a Porsche in college.
No, you did.
I didn't. I did not.
Z-Rock.
I had first of all, my freshman year I had no car. Then I had the yellow Z28 for 2 years, and then I had a Crown Vic. It was a Caprice Classic.
How about in medical school?
I had a Porsche.
Okay then.
Okay, but I was in medical school. It's a different game.
Hold on,
it's not college.
Listen to me. Yeah, no, I got to think that if you are at the University of Florida, Gainesville, and you are not you're not a undergrad, meaning, grades, junior, sophomore, freshman, senior, and you are a graduate medical student, that you are driving a Porsche, competing with, freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors who are just undergrad willies and really not, I got to think that you are killing it.
Yes.
I mean,
that's different. But the college kids should be all similar.
Because you didn't look obviously older. You probably looked like, the way the juniors and seniors look.
I look like a senior.
Right.
I look like a senior or fifth-year senior.
I mean, were you now? What was your ratio on the Did you prefer the freshman girls?
It was just whomever. Freshman girls were kind of, scared and young. So it was more like the girls that were going out, like the 20-year-olds, people with IDs.
Right.
So I think I averaged.
You did have a Porsche, though, did you not?
Yeah, I did. I had a Mercedes and a Porsche. First a Mercedes, then a Porsche.
And what would happen if you met a girl at a club and you're like, hey, just jump in with me, and there you are, Porsche, Mercedes, Willie, when they're used to getting in an 86 Hyundai?
Yeah, it helped.
Would they actually say, "Oh my God"?
They never see your car when you meet a girl. That's a girl. A car doesn't get you a girl. Your rap, your looks, your sense of humor, your ability to approach a girl. That's what gets a girl.
Yeah, but
a car helps you keep a girl.
It helps when you're, like when I would meet a girl in college, she'd have to get my '74 Maverick. I had to have a pretty strong rap on the backside. But meanwhile, Dan, you can have a mediocre rap, and then that car just closes the deal. That's the panty
certainly
dropper.
Doesn't hurt. Did you have like a set opener, like a cold opener that you would use that would work for you?
Hi, my name's Dan. What's your name?
My name's Rhonda. What's your name? Dan. Okay, hi, Dan. Dan, were you a senior here, Don?
No, I'm in medical school.
Oh, there you
my
go.
God,
Okay.
you're in medical school, really?
Yeah.
Panties are soaked.
And what type of doctor do you want to be, you think?
Plastic surgeon.
Oh my
Really?
God.
And like how many more years you got?
Just a few.
Oh, wow,
Very
Don.
ambiguous.
Wow, Don.
Do you want to go in my Porsche now?
Don, do you have your own place?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is it far from here?
No.
Wow.
And it's even faster. It's even closer with a fast car.
Okay, well, can we take your car?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Let's walk up to your. Oh my God, a black Porsche, John. This is your car?
Yes, it is.
Wow. Let me give you. I'll just give you a little action right here, just in the car before we get to your place.
Hells yeah.
I mean, did you get a lot of Hoppy ADOP?
Not in the car. No.
Not a lot of Riz His?
No.
Yeah, Riz His is way overrated.
Oh yeah, especially if you live 5 minutes from where you're at.
Talk about it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if you're driving to Ocala.
If I'm going to be true to the game, Road His is just, I mean, whatever.
Jeez.
What are you doing with that? I mean, you can't really finish it off and really have a good time and keep the car on the highway. I mean,
do you ever have sex while driving?
Oh my God.
I have,
that
and
is dangerous.
It's dangerous, and I don't think in any way, shape, or form I could even come close to having it.
Where were you driving? Was this in the cornfields of Indiana or something?
I was actually on
75.
I was actually on Michigan 31 South.
So a real road.
Traffic.
Heading south south out of Grand Rapids over to Kalamazoo. I was blasting that Rebecca chick.
While driving.
While driving.
What kind of car were you in?
A Honda Accord.
That's hot.
Yeah, it was the worst. No. I was in a Chevy Silverado, Lummy.
Oh, okay.
I was in a Chevy Silverado that had no rear spare, and I had to wire up, that flap that keeps the spare under, tight underneath.
Yeah.
It was wriggling everywhere, so I had to wire it up so it wouldn't jingle back there. And she rode me out while we went back to my place. But then I partied while we were in the truck, and it took me a half hour or so to recoup. At that time, she was already passed out because she was so drunk.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a party.
I mean, come on, we've all been there.
Sure.
Has not all of us dudes, have we not been with a chick and just right before, having intercourse or getting, going the distance, she passed out? I've had several chicks pass out before the deed.
Oh yeah.
Have you, Lummy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dan?
when you just tap them on the shoulder.
Wake up, please.
Oh, you're not awake? Okay, I thought you were awake.
I remember one time, Dan might even remember this. I got this chick from Spring Hill, Planet Bubba, and we're in Spring Hill, and we're one of my VIP clubs, Lummy, and she's just throwing them back. But she's also, I think, doing X or ecstasy, or like she's doing some kind of, she's doing something.
GHB.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, remember, Dan, remember that liquid?
Renutrient.
Yeah,
remember?
She was doing Renutrient when
you could buy it.
Anna, you could go down to the GNC store, the general, like the GNC vitamin store.
I'm familiar with GNC.
And you could buy a big bottle. It was
yellow.
It was yellow. It looked like piss.
Yep.
And it was called Renutrient, and it was 100% legal, branded by GNC. You could literally walk in there if you wanted to and buy 10 bottles.
Yep.
And it was straight GHB.
And a shot of that, and you're like, and then passed out with no recollection.
It was
weightlifting.
Like weightlifting, like these guys would shoot them right before they really went out and bench press 5,000 pounds, like it was a bodybuilder kind of deal. Mach,
but it sedated
you might know, Mach. What were bodybuilders using GHB for back in the day? Like when you could buy it at the store, like Renutrient.
It was for an endurance thing, but I think it was more of a euphoric thing than an actual.
Right. Makes you really high and you just want to lift harder.
You think you're doing more than you're doing.
Right.
One of those deals.
I need some of that immediately. Huh. Yeah, Anna. So I had this girl. She had some GHB, and we're screwing around in the Planet Bubba.
Yeah, that's like the day rape drug.
Spring Hill. Let me right out there right across the street from Wiki Wachi.
Yeah, 19.
And I'm in my Benz, and I'm driving her home, and she's like, how much longer till we get home? I'm like, 40 minutes. So I'm hauling ass down 19 because she's like, I really want.
Plays on Fall Flight.
Palm Harbor?
No, that's when I lived in Tierra Verde.
Oh my God, that's a drive.
Yeah, and so I'm trying.
That's more than 40 minutes, Fred.
She's saying words like, F me. Oh, I just want to F, and oh my God, I can't wait to F, and she's saying all the great things that got you wanting to go 150
she's losing steam.
So
she's slowing down
Yeah,
on the
she's-
backstretch.
Oh yeah, very much so. You know,
Oh no.
Yeah, and I'm just trying like.
Oh no!
Why don't you just pull over and bang her
He's
there?
slowing down on the backstretch.
Because I'm not a pullover,
Were you
banging on
super
the side of the
fat
road.
at that point in
No, I
time?
wasn't super
So then-
fat.
Well, then if it's a race against time,
quit trying to always bury me. Put me over,
I'm
bitch.
asking.
And I'm
You
telling
told me no.
But this is like one of those things that once they pass out, it might as well be like a rock.
Like you're not
it's
having
zero.
yeah.
There's nothing there. The person is completely unarousable.
After they've passed out, any sexual activity would be borderline Riz.
Yes,
I
because
mean, I think she was consenting 20 minutes ago.
right
Still
because they
counts.
really have no control,
I mean,
no
it
recollection.
would be borderline like rape. Like
No, I think it would be rape, actually.
Yeah. So I remember. So I'm driving this chick home. I get her home, and we take and she takes off all her clothes. I take off all my clothes.
Did she
And-
take off her clothes, or did you take off her clothes?
She took them off. God damn, Anna, is everything like? Do you disagree with me on everything?
I don't think
Can't you
I'm
just take my
disagreeing with you.
word for it?
I'm asking
She took
you.
off her clothes. I took off my clothes. And the minute, like literally within 15 seconds of her being in my bed, like let me, you go over there and start, maybe getting on the boobs a little bit. So I got on the little, kissing, little boob, and then all of a sudden I hear,
Oh, no. Please wake up. Please wake up. Just shake her.
I'm like, her name was Jennifer. I'm like, Jennifer, wake up.
Jennifer's done.
Wake up.
Oh, no.
She's like, like, did that?
And that's why it's illegal.
Did you say, keep blasting me, Bubba? Sleeping. So it gets worse. She
Keep
gets
sleeping
deeper,
if you consent.
She gets deeper and deeper into this coma to the point where, man, she's not laboring to breathe.
Oh,
but the pace of her snoring is like 50% slower than it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I called Dan. I swear to God, I called Dan. This is one in the early stages of our friendship, and I go, Dr. Dan, it's Bubba. He's like, hey, Bubba. I go,
what time is it? It's like 3 a.m.
It's like 4 a.m.
Oh.
And I go, I got this chick that I met at my club. I drove her all the way down here. I think she's on GHB. And she literally, she was breathing pretty heavily and snoring. And now it's like every 7 seconds, I'm getting like a snore. And Dan said this immediately. Do you have any sugar or a Coca-Cola? And I go, I think I have both.
What about Pepsi? Sorry.
Can't you just take that it's... Can you see the little thing how you slipped in? Can you see the little rut you're slipping into?
Yeah.
Where every time I'm telling a story, you try to and then it completely throws me off.
Sorry.
So he says, get a tablespoon of sugar, pure sugar, and wash that down with a Pepsi. Prop her up so she doesn't choke and gurgle and drown. And he goes, and I think, Dan, you said that Pepsi had like 53 grams of sugar and, a big tablespoon of sugar is however many grams. And that would revive her or at least get her somewhat awake. And I did it and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. Big tablespoon of sugar and with a Coke chaser. And Jennifer wasn't ready to resume our activities.
But she didn't die.
But she didn't die.
And then shortly thereafter, Renutrient and GHB became controlled and illegal because it had so much of a propensity for people getting in over their heads.
And you didn't have to do anything to that product. You could just take it.
Just nothing. Just a shot of it.
Right from
2
the
shots.
bottle.
1 shot was like, built you up. 3 shots, you're passed out.
Okay, so it was easy to overdose.
Too
on it.
easy.
Yeah.
It's like the reason fentanyl is so dangerous is because it's so concentrated.
Easy
It's
to
too easy to overdose.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Now, are they mixing fentanyl with everything now?
Well, unless you're, in the Sinaloa cartel, because they're killing those people that do that. But yes, the problem is they're stepping on it with fentanyl. It's so powerful,
Is
so
fentanyl
strong.
so cheap?
It's not that it's so cheap. It's
Synthetic,
just it's so easy to make, and it's so concentrated. It just takes a couple, micrograms, milligrams, drops, however it's being added to what you're using, and it supercharges it until you take too much and die.
Yeah, I was kind of confused by that because obviously you want to keep your clientele alive. So why would you want to?
But I mean, do you want to
them?
put now? Do these people want to put just enough fentanyl to make their product that much better than the other guy's product? Because they're probably not trying to kill anybody because now you've lost customers, right?
Isn't it like 50x heroin? Like
more than that.
Potency, maybe even
there's
100?
there was fentanyl, and then there's N-fentanyl, which was 100 times more powerful than regular fentanyl, which was like 100 times more powerful than morphine. So it is so concentrated. When fentanyl first came out, anesthesiologists, there's a high incidence.
I was going to ask you, what is in the medical sense fentanyl made for?
It's for IV use when you have someone that's having anesthesia.
All right, so
usually it's given IV when you're under anesthesia.
When somebody is going in for surgery and there's an anesthesiologist there that keeps you under, fentanyl is one of his go-tos.
Yes,
to keep you. But
they don't give you IV morphine anymore. They give you fentanyl.
But mind you, as he's administering this fentanyl, he is monitoring a plethora of different, vital signs, and he is constantly making adjustments. Whereas
and breathing for you.
Right. Whereas the fentanyl that you take recreationally has just been put in this tablet, and nobody's there to monitor you.
And you have no idea how much you had.
And you're not in a hospital settings where you have all these wires and probes hooked up, and they have any idea what your body's doing. You're just taking a pill that's laced with fentanyl
or Coke. They lace it in Coke a lot.
Is that
And a lot of people in LA, like celebrities, comedians, were dying because they were doing Coke and just overdosing on fentanyl.
Right. Because you're inhaling it. It goes goes into your bloodstream really quickly. But fentanyl also blows off fast. Fentanyl comes in hard and goes away fast. Other narcotics stick around, like I'm drawing a blank on it, but let me go back to the fentanyl. So a lot of anesthesiologists it's one of the highest incidents of drug abuse amongst doctors is anesthesiologists because it's right there.
You mean, hold on, anesthesiologists abusing their own
You're not supposed to get high on your own supply.
Correct. You always hear a story every year.
So Dan, it's tough for you to get high on, you can't carve off your chest and throw in some boobs all of a sudden. You do.
Can't snort.
Meanwhile, anesthesiologists, their only job, like you have a multitude of jobs. You could do a nose job. You could do a rhinoplasty. You could do a boob job. You could do liposuction. You could do an eye lift. I mean, you can do a butt lift. There's so many different things you can do. But the only thing that an anesthesiologist does is one thing. Keep you asleep.
Drugs.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't cut on anything.
Nope.
He's not making any adjustments. He's just keeping you under. And Dan, do they try to keep you under just barely under so you can't feel it? Or do they try to keep you deep under?
Depends on what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
If I'm just, if I'm doing something that I've already been doing for a while, then yes, they just barely keep you under. But if I'm doing something that's very what we call stimulating, then they make you deeper.
So will they ask you, the doctor, how deep is the fentanyl?
How deep do you want it?
How deep is the love? So do they say, Dan, how deep you need them?
Balls deep.
Do you have a scale, like a 1 to 10?
No, you just
the twitch thing.
It's just the twitch has something to do with muscle relaxation, but not the actual anesthesia.
So
that's another whole subsect of anesthesia is the muscle relaxation.
Oh, I need some of that immediately.
Because you're like,
you stop breathing.
I remember you saying you want like a 1 twitch or a 2 twitch or something like that.
Yeah. So if the muscle's not relaxed or paralyzed, then when you cauterize on muscle, it retracts and it bleeds more. So I need muscle paralysis. They usually paralyze the muscle when they first start the anesthesia, so that your vocal cords don't bow up and they can get the tube through your cords. And then the muscle relaxation usually wears off, but I continue it if I'm operating on muscle because you want it relaxed. You don't want it twitching every time you cauterize it.
So you're telling me every time we go under, they stick a big old tube down our throat? We don't even know it?
Not every time, but most of the time, yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Do we look
General endotracheal anesthesia, GETA.
And I got to think that even the hottest person doesn't really look that good when you got a thing coming out your mouth.
They sure do. They still look good.
They do?
Yeah, dude.
The big old thing coming out of your mouth?
Doesn't everyone look better with a big old thing coming out of their mouth?
No, not really.
Well, we only know about that, Dr.
I mean, yeah, Dan. I don't think I'm going to look better with a big old thing coming out of my mouth.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
All guys. But
and so where they get, but here's the deal: is fentanyl a liquid, or is it
It's a liquid. Well, it's sometimes a powder that's reconstituted to a liquid.
I'm just
so it
saying,
could be
like-
a powder that's dissolved.
I mean, because if fentanyl is used in the anesthesiologist world, I got to think that it's a liquid. Why and under what circumstances would you need fentanyl to be a powder?
Sometimes storage,
it
it's
with-
easier to store powders than it is liquids.
Oh, like
'cause
shelf
the
life and
shelf life. So,
temperature-wise.
well, yeah, they'll sometimes ship it in a powder, and then you have to reconstitute it by like adding a cc of water.
Oh, okay.
So now that's happening
but
less.
doesn't that make it even more concentrated though?
You can adjust the concentration that way. So because people were getting into trouble with this when fentanyl first came out, it was super strong. Everyone got used to it. And that was being reconstituted. Then they started doing it with N-fentanyl, and some of the anesthesiologists didn't realize it was literally 100 times more powerful than regular fentanyl, and they were not adjusting the doses correctly or the mixing it correctly, and they were literally like, your case would be over, and your anesthesiologist would be dead on the other side of the curtain with a needle sticking out of his arm.
Whoa.
And that happened a lot.
Hold
a
on.
lot more than people want to admit, a lot more than it's been reported. It happens, still happens on a regular basis throughout the entire country that anesthesiologists are found dead with a needle sticking out of their arm.
While they're doing their job.
While they're doing their job or in a break between jobs, because they steal a little bit between patients. Like they'll one for you, one for me, two for you, one,
So Dan,
two for me.
You're saying this has been very, very, very underreported because
for
it's
50 years.
And so anesthesiologists are there. I've heard, and I'm not trying to say they're the biggest junkies in the operating room.
100%.
Just to give you some scale, fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that is 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine.
Right. And then N-fentanyl is even stronger than that.
Yeah. That's just
And they
reg
say, I'm just
fentanyl.
give myself a little something here, take the edge off. Next thing you know, they're found in the men's locker room dead.
Mm-hmm. Passed out and they're
What do you do? I mean,
drowning in their
what do you
hot
do?
tub.
Do you call the cops? What do you do?
Yeah.
Or Can Up Willie.
Mm-hmm.
Has it ever happened to you? Just yes or no?
I've never died. No.
No. Have you ever?
Well, I've ever discovered someone? No, I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yep, he insulted everyone during that last break. The Bubba the Love Sponge show returns after these words.
Trent, where is that?
I mean, when do we have Alex on?
Trank is like
Tomorrow night.
They say he's ketamine.
Yeah.
Trank's ketamine.
Do you know anything about
Oh,
him?
I don't know.
So he's boxing at 7 o'clock.
I didn't know really what
That's
it
all
was.
I know for right now.
Ketamine is considered an opioid, right?
He said he was going to come talk about it
Ketamine is
tomorrow when he's on.
considered
He's going to find out all the info today.
It's considered a. It's a.
Tranquilizer?
The tranquilizer, but there's another word for it.
Oh. I know it's
Hypnotic.
like a horse
Hypnotic.
tranquilizer.
They call it hypnotic.
I know, don't they use it a lot with like kids and
Yes, because adults have bad dreams on it. Kids don't.
Really?
Uh huh.
What's the kid, 12 and under?
12, 13, 14.
Huh.
Something about puberty.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I know they use it a lot with anesthesia with kids. Oh, hello everyone. You've had a lot of ketamine. Full disclosure, I've done it one time. I think it's good. No, thank you. So let's go there. Can't stop saying Creed. So, Cracker Chris. Ketamine category. It's not classified as an opioid. A dissociative injected anesthetic. So let's go there. Happy Halloween. You getting choked out. What's up, Big Lunger? Yeah. I would love to try some morphine at some point. One day. Let's go there. Yeah, I know it's not an opiate. It's also known as cat tranquilizer, cat Valium, Jet K, Kit Kat, Purple Special K, Special Coke, Super Acid, Super K, and Vitamin K. That's how I like to refer to my ketamine. I knew a girl who trafficked it from Mexico in her panties. Interesting person. And she was actually like pretty normal. Switch out the PP really quick. Hopefully the game comes in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ketamine is cozy. Makes it all nice and warm and fuzzy. Alright. Nice search you.
Dark Ranch, good morning.
Steve. Eat more coleslaw, good morning. Is it highly addictive?
What, fentanyl? Oh, yeah.
There, Titsky Bowl.
It's weird. On YouTube, you have 773 watching with 259 likes, so 30% likes. And on Rumble, you have 1,300 people watching and only 153 likes. There should be 400 likes.
Yeah, well, they're assholes.
Like button.
I don't use ketamine. If I was dealing with a bunch of little kids and I was sewing them up, I'd give them ketamine. And I think I've done some ER work where they gave the kid ketamine before. But I don't traditionally use it much. What's up, Fin 212? Big loner.
Big loner. You little feels.
Is it a dissociative anesthetic?
What's up, big loner?
What is there not to like about the show? Bubba the Love Sponge.
You guys are awesome.
And I love the sponge.
The show's cool. It's real, man.
He makes me laugh my ass off every time I listen.
I'm a full truck of fact, man, so it gets me through the day all the time.
Bubba the Love Sponge. You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Lummy, yeah, nothing on PayPal today. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all at the Bubba Army. It's the last day of the month. It's inflation. Joe Biden's in there. We get it.
Throw something.
I mean, we get it.
Come on, guys.
No, we don't.
Help Bob out.
We don't need anything. You can do something for me for free that costs nothing. That's going to our YouTube channel, which is at the Bubba Army, and getting a notification and hitting the subscription little bell there. Notification subscription. It doesn't cost you anything. And now you're subscribed to our channel. Lummy, we're only 2,375 away.
Ooh. Let's go.
Less than 2,400 away from hitting 100,000 subscribers. At that point, YouTube sends you like this little commemorative wall plaque kind of deal, and it really kind of is a big thing. And then, like, you know, when you're talking to guests and things like that, and you tell them, hey, we have over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now, that may be small pennies that may be small numbers compared to, like, the Cletus McFarlands and things like that. But let me, at one time, I can remember maybe like 3 years ago when Cletus McFarland was just getting to 100K. And he was making a big deal about it. Well, now he's at a couple million, but that first 100K really kind of solidifies you. So we're only 2,375 away from our YouTube channel subscriptions being 100,000. That's just like you look at it now and it says 97.6K. All right, that's cool. That's great. Thanks. But 100K, bitches I'm about to get mine. Today's after show, which will be on all 4 of the current forums visually that we're on now, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, will have Tech 9 on at 10:30. Tech 9's appearing at the Seminole Hard Rock with Hollywood Undead on Saturday the 15th. Tech 9, we're one of the very... Tech 9, for the most part, doesn't do radio shows.
No.
He doesn't. He's never really been socially accepted by, like, the standard, you know, urban radio station. Like, Lummy, I don't think 94.1 plays any Tech 9.
No, they do not.
Yeah.
Right.
I listen to it.
I don't think 95.7 plays any Tech 9.
The Beat? No.
No. All these corporate urban stations. So Tech 9 has carved out a niche that, like, remember back in the day and stuff, like, people like Eminem and Dr. Dre and stuff, they would say, yeah, man, you know, Tech 9's my favorite. Like, he would be the favorite amongst real rappers.
He would influence them.
And he had developed, Tech 9 had developed a real super niche where he was the guy that the rappers that were on the radio listened to. And he's been able, Lummy, he was very early in on YouTube. He was very early in on all the socials, and he's absolutely killing it. He killed it independently without the socials. And now, I mean, Lummy, what's his YouTube channel? A few million?
Yeah.
Like he really like, and now he can release videos, and you release them right to your YouTube channel, and you get 30, 40 million hits on the deal. That's how you do it nowadays. Anyway, Tech 9's been a friend of the show for a very long time. I'll have him on today at 10:30 on the after show. Lummy, are we going to have Alex on tomorrow?
Yes, we are.
Does he travel here tomorrow?
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Yes.
Is he staying the night with me?
He said he is.
Okay, we have to figure all this out.
Here on Friday morning.
Is he gonna? And he's gonna be on the show on Friday.
Yep, that's his plan.
Probably not the whole show. Maybe I'll.
That's
tell
what he
him.
said last time when he showed up at 5:58 a.m. ready to go.
We'll figure it out. Whether it's whole show, half a show, whatever. Then we're gonna have to figure out who's going to the boxing match, right?
Yes, we are. I gotta give him some names.
Who all wants to go? I'm gonna go. I'm taking the merch
Have you
crate.
figured out a time that he's actually fighting yet?
You said 7 o'clock.
He said 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
I'm bringing Rob Kahn and the merch crick. Lummy, are you going?
Yeah, I planned on going.
Okay. Anna, are you going?
I am planning on going, yes.
Dan, are you going?
I'm hoping to. Now that I have a time.
Rhett or the bodybuilder?
Yes, I would like to go.
He
said he'll be in the gym.
Oh, he'll be in the gym. Yeah, he'll be doing traps.
Yeah, of course.
So Alex has a big fight what is it? The
4th.
The something of combat, the
Carnival of Combat.
Carnival of Combat. It's I think it's promoted by Jason Ellis.
Yeah.
And Luis J. Gomez.
And who? J. Gomez?
Luis J. Gomez.
Yeah, right. That's who's promoting it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a problem. I actually extended an olive branch for Jason Ellis to come on my show. Well, I mean, I guess he kind of was not so cool with you in his description as to why he didn't want to go on the air.
What's wrong with Lummy?
No, nothing. It's just because,
He went on Calta, that's why.
I work on the show.
Yeah, like
he wasn't like a jerk.
I guess
to me,
Calta has a rule that if you go on my show, you can't go on his show. And if you go on his show, you better not go on my show. Like, I guess that's kind of the rule.
He should have a rule like stop eating donuts.
Or stop stealing sex tapes.
Yeah. That's a great rule.
That's a great rule. Don't steal your morning man's sex tape. Use it for him to get fired as the morning man. Then you become the morning man.
Stop.
When the company thought that the morning man did it all, when really you did it.
Yeah, stop manhandling
And that's why,
women.
you know what? That's why Cox versus Hogan settled before depositions. Now, Dan, I'm not a lawyer. You are. What does that infer usually when somebody settles prior to depositions?
That usually means they don't want to talk.
They got a lot of stuff that's going to come out publicly during depositions that they don't want out.
Nope.
So, I mean, it's very, very, very unheard of for a trial to get settled before depositions. Usually depositions are your fact-finding mission for you to find where all the dead bodies are buried, for you to be able to come up with the financial claim of how wronged your client has been.
Exactly.
And so that you need these answers to these questions for you to formulate your suit. The lawsuit in itself is pretty much formulated by the depositions.
The value of it.
Yeah.
The potential of it.
And what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And when you write a 50+ million, so I've been told, don't know it to be true, but rumor has it, you write a $55 million check to Hogan before the first day of depositions. I don't know what
That's grabbing your ankles, knowing that you're guilty.
As Cox, what you didn't? Mike Calta's deposition was scheduled first, and 2 days before he was to be deposed, they wrote a check. What does that tell you?
Right. It tells you they did not want him to talk.
Right.
Guilty.
Anyway, last day of the month. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, if you would be so kind. If not, at least go to our YouTube and subscribe to that. God love me, if somehow we could get like 2,375 people just today. Now, that would be probably one of the larger one-day signups, but it means so very much to me.
Please, please.
At least by the end of the week. I mean, you think that's obtainable? I mean, there's got to be a bunch of people. I think, Lummy, if you look our stats, or maybe Rhett, you can, doesn't it give the statistics as to how many people watch our videos that are subscribed compared to I think we're like 55-45.
Yeah, I want to say we're closer to 65-35. Give me a second, though. I'll find it for you.
There's like 35. Now, 65-35 is a very, very impressive split.
That's really, really good for YouTube.
And so instead of yelling at you guys, I should commend thee, saying thank you. It looks like those that watch our YouTube channel and go and see some of the ancillary program that we put up there, for the most part, you're subscribed. So thank you for that. But there's still quite a bit that are not.
Watch time from subscribers the last 28 days, 66.7 are subscribed, 33.3 are not subscribed. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's upper 10%. Like, I can't really get mad at you about that. But still, there's 33% of you that are using us like the little sluts that we are.
Mm-hmm.
And we just want to, for you to give us a kiss goodnight instead of just walking away and tell us to put some ice on it.
It's free.
Yes.
Yeah,
People
I
love
mean,
free
free ass just gets, when you're on the side of the free ass, if you're the dude and you're getting free ass, it's great. But when you're a girl and you're giving out free ass all the time and you never get to go to dinner and you never get to do anything, probably gets to you after a while, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Feel like you're a little used. Well, we feel used. Don't stop using us for free ass entertainment. Thanks. So Britney Spears, she's so stupid. She gets pulled over. I think Britney Spears might think that the rules don't apply to her.
They don't.
And because she's lived such a sheltered rock star, conservative guardianship life, she's just in the last fiscal year become like where she can go do things as a 40-some-year-old adult, including driving a car and playing with knives on Instagram.
But Bubba, here's the metaphor. If you take a lion, and the lion is raised in a cage, and after the lion's 14 years old and a full-grown adult and a big lion, you put him out in the real world, that lion's going to have problems. That lion's not going to know what to do. It's not going to know how to hunt.
It's going to be
socially
socially
hard.
hard.
It's going to be socially awkward, and it's going to have issues, and it may not survive.
Let me big buck out of Charleston, 100 on the PayPal.
Thank you.
When you take a
Thank
person,
you, Bucky.
when you take a person like Britney Spears, who's
And she's
literally
been-
been in captivity for 30 years.
Right.
It's like you're letting a domesticated lion out in the wild, and they don't know what to do.
But she has to know that if you're going to drive up and down the road, that you need a driver's license. Like,
well, that you would think.
Not when you're on drugs.
Yeah, not Britney. This is actual.
She has her knives on her.
This is actually the police
guy.
Yeah, the body cam.
Dash cam.
The body
Oh, yeah,
cam.
body
The body cam from the police officer. So you see it all here. Jones 21,485. What's Dan? What's 1551? Is that
3:51?
3:51.
So in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon.
Almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right. It should be 7 o'clock our time. He's got that hat.
She's got the badass Benz. Look at it.
Think he was a little starstruck.
Probably.
Oh, God. It's right there.
Shh, hold on.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, pass on the double yellows. You can't do that.
I'm so sorry.
Do you have your license? Okay, I'm trying to shade you. Hold on. There we go.
My security at my house has my passport and my driver's license.
So the security personnel, her head security, they have her passport and her driver's license. They have them.
I just flew in from Mexico.
Okay, you haven't gotten your license yet? I stopped you a few weeks ago, and you're supposed to get your license.
I'm sorry.
Okay, do you know you can't
it's a
pass
second stop on the same girl?
Yeah, second stop.
He's hanging out by her house, waiting for her to mess up.
Well,
it's
I mean, this is probably his.
Entrapment.
This is probably his district. If you were able to prove this was his district, then Dan, it would be not entrapment. This is his area that this is his area that he patrols.
Right.
And she likes to zing her little Mercedes over double yellow lines to pass like she's you. She's Sammy Hagar. I can't drive 55.
Yeah, but I don't cross double lines, double yellows.
Yeah,
to
well,
pass.
she does. So when you cross a double line yellow to pass, you've regardless if the guy's laying on her or not, you know you're gonna get pulled over. And he just most recently, 2 weeks ago, he pulled her over, and she didn't have her driver's license in either, and she promised to get one.
And he let her go.
And he let her go. Hold on.
Hellos?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, the reason for that is there's private driveways, so people are pulling in and out.
And now, like one of most of my driveways, and I got to use the bathroom.
It's about to come out right now. I'm so sorry.
Okay, do you have any like photo ID or anything with your name on it? I know who you are, but
Yes, they have it.
okay, you really got to carry it. Is there a reason why you don't carry it with you?
No, it's because I forgot to take it back from the security holds it.
She's so irresponsible, and she's so been coddled, and she's such like an oblivious to how the world works superstar that she can't even hold her own driver's license and passport in fear that she'll lose it during one of her steak knife demonstrations. See, I'm not responsible enough to hold my driver's license, but boy, I can do a Ginsu presentation on Instagram with the best of them.
I mean, yeah.
She should have one on her phone.
So you fly into the airport, right? And then they take it from you and they take it home?
They're not supposed to. I've been there many times. They kind of have been really rude. They take my dogs away the last time I was there. So we've had to,
at the airport?
Yeah, well, they want to take it and they take it to the thing and they search it and everything. They never did that before, so my security is very cautious about the passports and everything and make sure that I'm not taken advantage of when they were really kind of rude last time I was there. So that's why.
Ma'am,
she touching
here's
her hair?
that information.
Yeah.
What's your address out here? Do you know your address out here?
Yeah, we need a
She
doctor.
says the address. Now, hold on, though, but she doesn't remember her zip code. Listen.
Okay.
And she might not even know her address.
You sure? Are you sure that's what it is?
Yeah. So this guy probably knows what her address is because this is his district, and she gives him the address, and he says, "Are you sure?" She doesn't. She's so effed up and so oblivious. She doesn't even know her address.
Is that considered Thousand Oaks, or is it?
By the way, this is out where Hogan used to live.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Newbury Park or Westlake. And do you know the zip code by any chance? Do you know the zip code by any chance?
Who cares? She's not mailing herself flowers.
No, he's just probably showing. He's probably
Showing
maybe
that she has no idea what's going
or
on.
that she's impaired.
I'll look up real quick.
3140.
And just confirm, so your license is at your house? Is there a way you can make like a photocopy and you can keep it in that same envelope that way? And I promise you, I'm not out here just trying to pull you over.
Honestly, it's so dumb.
Oh, okay. And I understand because you don't want people to like try to take it as a souvenir or something. So,
But she has a valid driver's license. Everyone knows who she is. He's really kind of being, you know.
But Dan, you're supposed to.
He's tic-tacking.
Yeah, but you're also.
Come on.
Hold on.
He's
not tic-tacking when her original stop was
crossing a double yellow to pass.
Yellow.
That's a problem.
That's his initial. If he just pulled her over because he thinks that she does not have a driver's license, that's tic-tacky. But when she's, grabbing a gear and passing, on double yellows, and you make, and that's your initial contact, you have every right to ask for a driver's license, right?
Yes, and Carlos Mandingo, she is above the law.
I'm not out here trying to pull you over. I'm out here looking for people speeding and passing over the double yellows, okay? I'm just looking up the zip code.
I mean, and listen, as big a rock star as she thinks she is, her handler could get a piece of paper and photocopy her driver's license, her insured card information, and have that she hands the police
in the
officer.
car.
In
exactly.
the car.
Pin it to her shirt if you have to.
Even laminate it if you want. And
stick it to the window.
No, but just laminate it, and you hand it. Hi, I'm Britney Spears. Here's a copy of my driver's license. Here's a copy of my passport. Here's a copy of my registration, and here's a copy of the insurance for this vehicle. Boom. It's all on one laminated card, front and back. Man, boom.
Right.
Because I'm not responsible enough to carry my driver's license in my wallet because I might lose it in the middle of a steak knife demonstration.
Okay, ma'am, so I'm going to be issuing a citation for passing over the double yellows when it's not allowed.
She doesn't care. She's just giving one of your 45 attorneys.
Just sign in the red box. By signing, you're not admitting to doing it. All you're doing is promise you're going to take care of the ticket with the court.
And you know the thing that pisses cops off, too? When you only roll your window down that much, that pisses them off.
Oh, it does?
Oh, yeah. Roll it, Dan.
Do you do that, Dr. Dan?
No, I roll it all the way down just because I always have.
Here's what you should.
Button,
if you want to really not get a ticket, roll them all down, turn the dome lights on, and have your license, registration, and insurance card waiting for them when they get to your door with your hands in a 10 and 2 spot.
They prefer that.
And they'll be like, "Oh, okay, buddy. You got your back windows rolled down, the dome light on, your passenger window rolled down. You got all of your information. And when they ask you, do you know why I pulled you over? You say, yes, I do. I looked down as soon as I saw you and saw that I was speeding. I wasn't paying attention, so I'm not going to give you any stupid excuses. Yes, I was speeding." Boom. Now they don't have to be on offense. Now they're like, "Yep, you're right, bud. Okay, appreciate it. I'll be back. Let me run you and see what you got." A 50-50 shot of not getting a ticket. If you are just that nice, that friendly, that prepared, that conscious of that person's safety, where you have all windows down, dome light on, hands on the 10 and 2, with the stuff that he needs, and when asked what you did wrong, you admit to what you did wrong. That guy now says, "You know what? This is top 5% of all pullovers tonight. This is going well." Make it so that it's you're the nicest person that he pulled over that night. You might not get a ticket. I'm just telling you. Bubba Army stickers help too, because they know how much we support law enforcement.
Yep.
I don't know if it'll fit there.
Never just crack your window like that. Cops hate that.
And then I'm gonna give you a copy. It should be mailed to your address, so hopefully that's
the address that you don't know.
Address, but if not, the court's in Simi Valley. There's some contact information down below. Okay. Do you have any questions? Okay. Make sure everything's correct.
She was polite the whole time.
And then here you go. You're free to go. Just
she couldn't have handled it any better than being irresponsible. The window. And being irresponsible and not having that stuff. But she didn't act like a bitch or throw a fit or anything like that. No, not a diva. She just, you know what? She looks spacey and stupid. And that's,
how to play it.
That's on brand, I think, for the most part.
Experience the myth behind the madness.
I just live in a world of urine and pancakes, you know?
More the Bubba the Love Sponge show after these words.
Better live.
But double yellow lines are when there's intersections, driveways, curves, and
neighborhoods.
You can't see. It's because you can't see beyond.
Yeah.
I understand why they're there. I get it.
Yeah, you did say there was a lot of drag movies that you were passing by. Travis. Adam S. 25 on the Venmo. Thank you. Halloween.
Good morning. It's good morning, Coffee Sprinkles.
What's up, Dan? Boy 352.
Fuck no, Snizzle. Dizzle Dick, good morning. Scary Terry. Yeah, I eat all the candy. I usually save a third of it for myself anyway.
What's your favorite kind?
You know, it's funny you ask. It depends. And so, like, I really like Babe Ruths. I like Milky Ways more than Snickers.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Do you even know the difference? I think one has nougat. Oh, peanuts.
Peanuts. Milky Way's more caramel.
Mm. What about peanut butter?
Hello. Huh?
What about peanut butter shit?
I like peanut butter stuff, but then, it gets old after a while. You can only take so much peanut butter stuff.
Mm.
Kicks for guns,
Yeah,
Duex.
Polio 100%.
He's Scary Terry.
I love me some almond joy, but I know that's not for everybody.
Yeah, I hand out caviar. That's
For the
fucking funny.
children.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm sure some of the kids have a taste for it. Oh, Rolos.
Rolos, I like Rolos.
Those are fucking good.
Rolos. Awesome. Thank you.
I don't think they come in like. little
Is
packs.
there
Funny how it comes
audio?
in different packaging every time.
Is there audio on this story? For the boy.
No, I don't think so. I think it's one of those like lame New York Post deals. The story's interesting though.
I'm gonna play it, but I just
Fucking murdered his mom while she was sleeping next to his
Yeah,
baby
it's pretty
sister.
cool.
But yeah, rolls are legit.
Scary Terry, you're
That's
funny.
pretty
Proactive Clean, an acne routine for sensitive skin. Dermatologist
Yeah, we're gonna hand out dill pickles tonight. Kosher pickles. I got a big barrel. Sounds like fun.
Now you're turning mine.
Yeah. I'm just gonna scoop it out with my hand and slap it into your pumpkin, your plastic pumpkin, so you get pickle juice all over your
Proactively
good candy.
formulated without parabens, phthalates, sulfates, cyclic silicones, and 100 plus no ingredients. New Proactive Clean. Start your journey at proactive.com and get a free 4 cleansing brush with your
Yeah,
routine.
getting a pickle for Halloween is about
Yeah.
the worst. It's like getting coal for Christmas.
Yeah,
Fucking suck.
Wouldn't fucking know.
So fun.
This is the people.
I was thinking about maybe just handing out ice cream.
Handing it out? Like what?
A
A scoop in a
yeah, just
hand?
put a scoop in a hand. Yeah, hold your hand out.
The parents would love that.
I think ice cream for Halloween would be a great thing.
Oh, yeah.
Ice cream and pickles. You can have either this pickle or a scoop of ice cream. Which you want?
My kid would pick a pickle.
You'd pick the pickle?
Yeah. He doesn't like
Hell
it.
yeah.
You picked the pickle too.
Yeah, look. He doesn't like sweets.
What? He doesn't? At all? He likes the little smacking pickles.
We don't push it on him, but
Yeah.
he doesn't want to try it.
Interesting.
I guess we're not doing pumpkin carving this year.
Guess we're not.
That was so fun.
Thanks for bringing it up.
Your inability to stay afterwards hurts us being able to do stuff like that.
Oh, it's my fault. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You gotta leave, bud. Like, you can't stay after.
Yeah, but I can do it on a commercial break.
Yeah, Dan, we're not going to be doing contests on commercial breaks so that we can fulfill your schedule.
If you guys want to like handicap it, just give me 6 minutes. You guys can have an hour.
Okay.
Just be
It
honest.
would have been
So
that.
you know, just scoop out the crap in the middle.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All day, every day. I'm an FT. Full tractor effect. You're my savior.
I listen to it in the morning and at night. Keeps me awake all night driving that big rig down the road.
Bubba the Love Sponge. We love you, brother.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Lummy, are we number one on Rumble?
Mm-hmm. We were in the top 3. I think we moved to number 1.
Wow.
Double check after the commercial break.
Thank you. Today on the after show, which will be Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, we'll have Tech 9 on. He's appearing in Tampa on the 15th of November, a Saturday, with Hollywood Undead. This Saturday night is Alex Stein's fight at some, I don't know.
The Factory.
The Factory. I don't know if I would recommend to buy a seat for that or not, but whatever.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
So
the guy that promotes it's a straight ripoff artist, is he not?
I know, but Alex is your friend, and don't you support him?
Yeah, I'm not buying a ticket. He's getting me in for free.
I know.
Like I'm his handler. So anyway, are they streaming it too? Lummy, I think that would probably be the more efficient way to watch
It's like
it.
$30.
They'd have to go down there.
That's crazy.
2,375 or so away from our YouTube goal of 100,000. Go to our YouTube channel if you could, at The Bubba Army, and subscribe and get a like in, and all that sort of
We
deal.
are number 1 on the podcast right now on Rumble.
On the podcast?
That's the one of them.
On the podcast category.
Yeah.
What are we going to do for 100,000? Anything?
Now, so on Rumble, are we in multiple categories? Podcast, chatting?
Yeah, they have the ability for a primary and secondary category.
Oh, great. Thanks.
So we are in just chatting and, we are in podcast and trending news.
Great going.
Trending news, we're up against Newsmax, but we're number 4.
Okay, fantastic. So with us being more available on various different pieces, parts, I've been looking at our Facebook show Messenger a little bit more on it, like Lummy looking at some of the messages and things. And I got a message from a woman named Sarah yesterday, and she said that Joe Nance is the guy that showed up at your gate, and he at your gate, and you did the show on a few days ago.
Yes.
He is my son's father. He is on drugs, and he isn't in the right mind. Several people have tried to help him, but he doesn't want the help, and he will not listen, and nothing that he says is true. Now, this is his baby mama.
Whoa.
So this woman,
she knows how to pick them.
Yeah, she does.
And make them.
Another guy asked me, did you used to be on Hot 102 in Milwaukee in the 90s? Yes, that indeed was me, Rockin' Bubba Clem. Now, we do have some emails to get through.
Oh, no.
And we do have, I got to tell you, this is very, very humbling. As I got just here to the radio station, just a standard envelope, which looks like maybe like a little fan letter or something like that, like like a little envelope, and it's from Don Sniller, Snilner. I think it would be Sniller. And he writes to me in like an invoice, like an invoice paper, like maybe from work, and he enclosed a check.
Nice.
For real?
And he says, and he's from He's from Shawinigan, Quebec. Shawinigan.
I need to read
said-
that again.
Write it down, Dan.
He called a month ago and said that he doesn't do the social and he wanted to send a check-in for listening.
And he did.
Yes, he did.
Oh my God.
Shawinigan.
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 I don't know.
Shawinigan.
Shawinigan, Quebec. And he says, and he writes in the 10th of October, 2023, I'm Bubba Army from Quebec. Since back in the day, in the Sirius days, I called in at the end of August and said I was going to cancel one of my 2 Sirius subscriptions, and I would send you a few dollars to show my appreciation. You asked me to mention that to Sirius, which I did. Oh, he said he called in and canceled his Sirius subscription. Told them that they needed some new blood, that they put on a great show, except for 4 to 5 hours a week that they could have with you on. Please find $125. And the future, I will find a better way to send dollars to you and help, as I really appreciate your show, which I've become very, very much a fan.
Awesome.
That's very sweet.
And then it's from Donald, $125 check.
Thank you, Donald from Quebec.
Yeah, thank you, my little Quebecer.
Quebec?
That's old school.
Quebec,
That's
yeah.
old school. Sending a check in the mail. That's like something your grandma would do, right?
Or Jonathan, the
meat guy.
Yeah, the meat guy.
Oh, did I get heat with him?
Oh, no.
Whatever what?
Why?
I don't know if I'm going to do any more business with Jonathan.
What did you do?
No,
You saw one of his cows or something?
You tell me what
What
you
did
think.
Jonathan do?
So, Dan, you've been on here before when Jonathan's called in.
Yes.
Okay, and we completely stop the show and we make it at least a 10-minute infomercial.
At least 5 or 6. Always. Always you stop and promote.
And that is to help the little guy.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a guy who owns a family farm and he butchers it all, feeds it all, corns it all, has his own little butcher shop store on his farm, a little building that his daughters and wife,
His 18 children run.
work. And they just you can't order online. You can't order. I got to get some WD-40, let me, for that door.
Yeah.
You can't order online. You can't order digitally.
Can't even call and leave a voicemail because it's full.
Right. So, but I promote him because I want the little guy to do good. I want the little guy to have he could never pay for that type of advertising.
And Jay's here.
Yeah, I know. That's why I recognized the squeak on the door.
I know.
But you just wanted to be irritating again, didn't you?
No, I just want to let you know he's ready on the mic.
I had his mic potted up the minute I saw him. Thanks.
I've had days like that.
It's potted up, Jay.
Yeah, thank you for bringing the WD.
Well, it's not. Jay's talking like and nothing's happening.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can see that I have my couch microphone pot all the way up. No, we don't hear it in our heads either.
Speaking in a vacuum.
Yeah, Macho Man, something's wrong. Obviously.
Much.
What's up, Nick?
Are you there, Jay? Still not any better.
Nothing.
Yeah, Macho's back there adjusting stuff. So,
Okay, perfect.
He's coming in there now. He was just checking our processors back here.
This is what I don't understand. Lummy, since yesterday that Jay was on that microphone,
right?
Nobody's talked on it. Nobody's done anything to it. Nobody's rewired it. Nobody's done nothing. I know there's not been a rat chew through the line, I don't think. And now, yesterday it worked perfect. Just turn the mic on.
This place is haunted.
Boom. And then today, it's dead Willie. So I don't understand, like, in one day, what happened? Did somebody literally go back there and get mad and just yank out a bunch of wires?
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Nope. Yeah, and I mean,
Macho's gone.
So anyway, I'll get to my emails, and hopefully Jay will participate.
Dan's loving that.
Bubba and Merch Crick are the greatest. Lummy, I love you.
Thank you. Love you too.
Dan, my father has the same personality as you. He doesn't hold any punches. It's funny how people have an issue with you, but when you put your medical license on the line to assist people with COVID, then they don't really thank you. I respect you. Thank you, Dan. Neil, Mount Pleasure.
Oh, thank you.
Anna, I appreciate you talking about intermittent fasting as that it's changed my life. I'm down 60 pounds since March.
Oh, that's wonderful news.
That's Neil Mount Pleasure.
Nice. Big Packer fan.
We might as well give Jay a megahorn.
Yeah.
To talk. And this is the kind of stuff that makes Macho Man like go absolutely.
I just see his head. He's running back and forth.
And he doesn't run.
Oh, he's back here breathing heavy right now.
It's gonna be interesting how this all shakes out. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna start snapping things.
Whose fault it was it?
Start throwing stuff away.
I'm thinking that in his new wiring of your guys' microphone, Rhett, that he may have crossed a wire and on the couch Willie and maybe somehow inadvertently pulled it out or something.
Not too sure. Tell Jay to try and talk, or Jay try and talk.
He's talking.
Did nothing.
He's still talking nothing. All right.
Hi, Bubba. You can get a producer or incorporate. I'm sorry. Can you get a producer or incorporate some silly segments? Now, hear me out. I know radio bits are old for a seasoned broadcaster, but listeners crave structure and weekly segments. You could do here's what this guy suggests. Yes. First of all, no, sir. Because just in the explanation of what you want me to do, you use the word silly.
I'm not silly. More silly, Bubba.
I'm not silly, buddy. And if you're looking for a silly show, we're not the show. We say it like it is with a Dan Prickish type slant, okay? It's the way we are. We're not doing silly segments, but just to humor you, let me read your suggestions, okay?
I can't wait.
You could do Macho's weekly exercise demonstration. Oh, yeah, that's going to really, really translate well to the radio. Rhett's Dog Pet of the Week report. Oh, yeah, that's going to be just absolutely.
That's super silly.
Riveting.
Sir, there's a reason why you're working on the back of a garbage truck and we're doing radio. You idiot. Anna's Conspiracy of the Week. Well, that's every day.
There he is.
Hold on. Jay, there you are.
Hey.
Jay, you there?
I am. Good morning.
Now, Mach, I want to know right now. I don't have any further questions.
Plead the fifth.
I don't want you to plead the fifth. What was the issue?
Well,
I think he's coming in there to tell you in person.
His isn't working now.
Oh, no.
Which means
you only have 7 mics.
He swapped me out for his.
That might be what he did. I don't know for sure, though. I think he's coming in there to tell you.
He left pretty quick.
Here he comes.
All right, so
look out.
Mach, can you tell me what happened? He's going to come on Jay's mic now.
All right.
Not literally, but I'm just saying, speak on your mic. He's going to speak on your mic. He's going to speak on your mic.
Here I come.
He's not going to do that to my mic.
He's not going to come on your mic.
Brother. Nope.
So, Mach, what happened there, buddy? Be honest. I know, even if you have to take an L, even if you got to take an L.
He's walking it off, dude. He just walked it off, man.
Macho Man. No, Mach. Then get on Rhett's.
Oh my God!
Get on Rhett's mic and let me know. I just want to know what happened, buddy. I just want to know.
That look was I don't have an explanation.
Even
Bubba.
if you got to take an L, just come on, Rhett. Mach. Everybody makes mistakes. Let me make one of the worst.
Here comes.
Let me make one of the worst mistakes ever in Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, sir.
So in the rewiring process yesterday, I pulled a power cord. So we plugged it back in, and now we're good.
All right. So now, does your mic work?
Yeah.
All right.
This is me.
So this was your fault then?
Yes.
Okay. No problem. No problem, Mach.
That was cool.
It's okay. We're cool.
It's cool.
See how easy it is? It's like when you said get pull over, take responsibility, and the heat's gone.
Lummy's mixed drink of the week. Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. Hi, this is and by the way, none of this looks good on regular radio. Like this doesn't even hi, I'm Lummy and I got a bottle of Tito's here and some Gatorade.
Which flavor of Gatorade?
Let me mix it.
This is vodka and red Gatorade. Next week.
Oh wow.
This isn't Lummy's mixed drink of the week. It's Lummy's mixed drink of the day. Lummy versus Rhett trivia. Lummy, name that rap song. Rhett, name that country song. Rhett's BBW of the week, Dan's drama of the week. It should be Dan's drama of the
day,
quarter hour.
Yeah.
Etc. The list goes on. Produce the show instead of just getting crappy articles from Anna. I'm just a hammer slinger, so I'm stupid. But these ideas provide listeners something to look forward to. For example, Jim Rome does his weekly beef All right, listen, buddy. I'm not a sporkle. Who's your day? I think
you farted.
But even if you were a silly guy, none of those suggestions were silly.
No.
They were just stupid.
We got little
Jesus,
inner working things.
Sorry, you came out of me.
Yeah. Whoa. Let's leave that one alone. Leave that
that's
one
like
alone.
Macho coming to my mic.
So anyway, sir, I'm not doing silly segments. I think we have segments within the show that we organically get to, but we don't have to bookend them under the guise of some stupid stuff like you mentioned. So just keep slinging that hammer. Let us do radio. Okay, no big deal, buddy.
Feeling silly, Bubba?
Hey, Bubba, or whomever's reading this email, I just wanted to say that I was watching on Rumble Thursday, and I'm thinking about how great the show is, how it looks visually. Macho, Big Red, Lummy, Rat, they've all made the studio look great. So there you go.
Awesome.
It's for real.
Visual.
I love it in here. I was
Times
looking
Square.
at that. Actually, while I was getting in my shower, I was watching it, and the studio looks amazing. There's always something behind somebody. Like the banner behind Anna with the Hall of Fame. And I mean, it just looks great in here.
Except
I love
Lummy,
it.
there's nothing behind Lummy.
Well,
I didn't say Lummy, I said Anna.
Lummy, we were thinking about putting something behind Lummy, but
He covered up my picture. He
He's
don't
too-
love me no more.
Yeah.
This is off camera. It's moved.
I'll slide that bitch to the right.
Oh, okay, Dan.
Put it in front of your own face.
Just so Dan can see it.
I want to see it.
So the other emails that we got were addressed specifically to Dan.
Uh-oh.
And Dan, you're going to read them, and we're going to read them under our new rules. Are you familiar with our new rules?
I believe the new rules are that I have to just kind of be calm about it and not be, not
yourself.
be
Like not have a Dan meltdown halfway, like into the second sentence when he says, "Dear Dan, I think you suck," and then you're like, "Well, let me tell you something. Who sucks? You suck, bitch. Because I'm gonna get my somebody to run you, and I'm gonna find out where you live, what kind of car you drive, You suck. You suck, buddy."
Try not to wipe yourself with them.
I just want you to just read it calmly and then address him calmly. Okay, buddy?
Okay, I have two here.
Lot riding on this. Like I want you to do this correctly. Okay? Not be a prick.
Okay.
And
There's two. Is there any order you want me to read them
You
in?
don't got to take an L on either one of them. You just have to address them nicely but yet curtly. You know what I'm saying?
Address the court of Clem.
Yeah, like Jay, when you disagree with a judge, you say, or because I know you have a lot more experience.
With respect, Your Honor, I think you're wrong about that.
You have a lot more experience than Dan as far as in front of a judge during that type of procedural, and you would do something like, with respect, Your Honor, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
I know.
With due respect, Your Honor, I think you're
Dan's like, let me tell you something, you stupid judge. I saw what you drove in on today. A Tahoe, 46,000. Big dick. Okay, man, I'm telling you right now, and you ain't know nothing. I went to Duke, bitch. Then I went to then I went to Stetson, bitch. Then I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor. So you better call me a doctor, not just Your Honor.
They love him at Stetson, by the way. We were just there for the Advocacy Institute opening. Danny and I contributed to the Advocacy Institute.
Right.
And the Stetson professors that were still there from when I was there loved Danny. He's just
Dan
like
used to cater in Papa John's for the entire class.
He's like, your brother would come in scrubs driving a Ferrari and feed everyone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's no other student in the history of Stetson that did that.
You know how Spicoli ordered a pizza, but it was only for him?
Yeah.
Well, I remember that. That was my whole...
Hold on. Dan was like Spicoli, but he ordered for everybody.
Exactly.
He's like, hey, dude, I got enough for everybody, man.
And that was my inspiration. Because I remember those scenes, and that was one of my inspirations to get as much food, to have as many people carrying it into the class. Because at Stetson, it wasn't like this when I was in college and high school. They have to let you eat. It's a rule. It's like not are you allowed to eat. They can't stop you from eating.
What?
Yes, because God forbid someone's got like a hypoglycemic.
Right.
And
somebody got so anyway, to your
I would literally
advantage,
order as much as I could order. Just to be as disruptive as possible.
Would they let it be known who bought the pizza?
Oh,
They
Danny
all-
would let it be known.
They all knew. You think the other guy next to me was doing it? It was me.
How did that make some of the people think like, man, that guy's a pimp? That
Yeah,
guy's
they
cool.
appreciate it. They appreciate it.
Hold on,
When we go out as a group, I'd buy drinks for everybody.
But hold on,
The whole bar.
didn't one time the law professor address you as Mr. Diaco and you and you corrected him and told him you were a doctor?
Yeah,
bitch?
while he was licking his fingers after eating one of my chicken wings,
And
he
then
called me Mister. I'm like, hey, listen, kid.
You did actually very respectful, Danny.
Yeah, I did. I said.
How did you do it?
I said, Professor. Literally, as he's wiping the chicken grease off his face.
Now, do all the kids and all the hot chicks hear this?
I kind of did it quietly during the little break because that's when everyone was eating.
All right,
so I went up and I said, Professor.
Yes.
You see
Yes,
that?
yes, Mr. Diaco.
You see that I come here prepared for every class and I participate.
And your number one's currently the class on two different things: one catering and classroom. Okay, so you're doing good there.
And
God, those chicken wings you brought in were good as hell, kid.
And and through your lessons, it's evident that precision is necessary.
Yes,
and
precision.
accuracy is necessary.
Very much so.
So I just want to let you know that you are the only person on earth that addresses me as Mister.
Oh, I didn't know
My
that.
brother is Mister. I am a doctor. So you can call me Dr. Diaco or just Dan. But please refrain from calling me Mr. Diaco because that's not me. That's my little brother.
Oh, you had to throw a little in there too?
Yeah, but hold on. You should mean. Oh, you mean your brother Jay, who graduated ahead of you, bitch?
But Dan, that's the guy we want answering these emails right there.
Right.
That guy.
Yeah, we want that guy.
Okay.
Can you do that guy?
So Dan,
Oh,
here
sure.
we go.
Oh, sure.
Two or three emails to Dr. Dan. The new gimmick is Dan has to answer them politely.
Yes.
He doesn't have to be a lapdog and agree with your stance. He can have an opposite stance on your opinion. He's just going to have to give it to you politely.
And here it comes.
Here it comes. Wish we had some. We had some soothing music, but we get
You don't need soothing music. I'll have a soothing voice.
We get copywritten.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This is from Andrew F.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say what the F means. So I hope you are doing well. I wanted to send you another reason. So this is, I guess, a second email. I can't listen 3 days a week. When I heard you say that you were making changes, I was hoping it was towards the 3-day schedule of Dan. His political stance and defense of Trump is horrific. I know I'm only a small part of your political bitchers, but I hope you hear me and understand I'm here for you and not the Diacos. You have talented people in the building, and you're starting to see it. There's no punctuation in all that. It's just kind of all runs together.
All right, that's fine.
I really hope you move that way and move away from the political and medical side of this because it is one-sided, in my opinion. Love you, bud.
Brian Matroni.
See you in.
I'll take the 3 days.
Yeah.
All right. So
see you at BARP.
Oh,
Andy F.
Oh, Andy F. So Dan's going to have.
We're going to see him at BARP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Dan, Dan? Here's the thing. Here's the rule. You can just read the emails and let them, be on the, fall on the face of what they, or you have an opportunity for a rebuttal.
Okay.
You can just read and let it be done, or you have a rebuttal. Would you like to rebut this one?
Maybe a little.
Okay, go ahead. This is Dan's polite rebuttal.
Andrew, first of all, I would like to say thank you for qualifying for BARP. It takes a lot of commitment
Good one.
and a lot of support for the show to be able to have the privilege to attend BARP. And hopefully you'll enjoy your beautiful new Bubba Army royalty ring. So I congratulate you on that. However, I do have to take note with some of your comments. It is very difficult for me to understand how an intelligent person can view today's social, political, and economic world as being better than our social, economic, and political world that we lived in prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, although you may have fared well throughout this pandemic, there were a lot of people that died and almost died. But because I believe that the Bubba radio program was very forthright, very visionary, and very bold to give some information that the mainstream media was not giving in regards to COVID, its therapy, its real origins, its danger, and maybe the vaccination campaign, because sometimes people of lesser mental fortitude are unable to sift through the distractions and noise that the mainstream media just feeds to the cattle Americans that just eat it up like the slop a pig eats at a pigsty. So I feel badly that your mind is not expansive enough to consider alternative theories, alternative explanations, and that you're just continuing to drink the Kool-Aid that's being poured down our throats from Washington these days. But my hope is that one day you'll have an epiphany, realize that I'm 100% right, and you're 100% wrong. I look forward to seeing you at BARP so I can smack you in the face. That part I made up.
That was amazing.
That's pretty good.
It was amazing. I was ready to hit. I was ready to hit that until you danned it up at the end. I was ready. You were almost ready to get the strap had you not said, "I'm going to hit you in the face at BARP."
I wouldn't do that. I said I was joking about that. I said I'm not joking.
That was silly.
Had you, it was stupid and silly. You're right, zookeeper at best. Had you said this right here would have got you the strap. Had you said this. I look forward to seeing you at BARP so we can have a spirited conversation about this particular topic. That would have got you that.
Close.
But you had to be the prick that you are and just couldn't help yourself and had to get violent with it. Yeah. Jay, can I have a second? Can I have a second, Jay?
Yes.
Thank you.
I thought I read that perfectly.
You became combative like you always do.
Your voice elevated the last two sentences.
You were ready. You were ready to pick
up
the strap. Had you just said, Anthony, whatever the hell, Andrew, again, thank you for your redirection of what you think about me, and I look forward to seeing you at BARP for you and I to have a spirited conversation. Sincerely, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire. That would have got you that, but instead you're like, I want to see you at BARP and punch you in the face. Acting like an uneducated knuckle-dragging Northeast High 10th grader that you're not.
It was pretty awesome, though, Dan. Jeez. I was over here like put my arms up.
All right, Dan, for the second, and let me remind me before we get back into words, I got to get into this Morris Farms deal.
Oh, yeah.
I got to get into that. Well, first of all, he sent dog food to one of our customers, and then the second customer, Mike from Mike's Pizza?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mike from Mike's Pizza is kind of a foodie when it comes to, he loves, of course he makes Italian and all that kind of stuff, but Mike's Pizza, being the restaurateur and, as much food as he's prepared in his life, he loves farm-raised mom-and-pop steaks. That's his thing. Mm-hmm. Like when he has his boys over and stuff, he likes to go off-grid and not buy the Publix or the whatever. He likes to find these little farm places through the internet and whatever. And so he's kind of a steaky, if you will. And so he texts me on Sunday of this past week and said, hey, I might need your help. And I go, what? And he goes, I put a $600 order in with that Morris Farms deal.
Nice.
And they said I'd have my meat by Tuesday, and they took my credit card down, and I think they've charged it. But now this was Sunday. I'm at home, watching the football game, and I'm like, okay, let me try to track it out. So I think I got a hold of Jonathan Morris's maybe daughter. Oh. And she's like, oh yeah, I think we wrote that number down, but we've lost it or something like that. So I'm like, listen, you guys have got to do better by this. I mean, I can't put and promote your farm, and you guys do this. And then my good friend Jim Taplummy, who I went to high school with, he said, Jonathan Morris sent me dog hamburger meat for a special dog food that he makes in my meat box. I ordered the Bubba Army Pack. Then he sent me an email telling me not to eat that and to throw it away or feed it to my dog. I'm so confused as to what I got and what I got coming. So, like, I mean, I think as confusing as Jonathan Morris is on the phone, I think it goes right along the lines with the order taken and the order placing and the credit card charging and the dog meat ascending.
Oh, well, like I said, Bubba, we going to get about 15 text messages a day before they start billing us for each text that comes through. So we got to bounce them out. Sometimes we lose the phone numbers in the process.
That was a great impersonation. So, I mean, Dan, wouldn't you, like, I look stupid on those two things, right?
Yeah, that's
I
frustrating.
mean, and $600 is a big order.
$600, they should drive the steak down.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Like fresh fish now.
Exactly.
Where you'd roll up in your Ferrari delivering crab legs.
Let's not bring that up. And then finally, Dan's final email.
I do have another one, yes.
He does have two. Now,
This
Dan,
is-
remember, if you know, there's a chance if you answer it right,
like
if you nail it, Dan, you know, I got this just ready to go. I mean, you know, I'm just looking for you to nail one. You haven't had that hardware for how long, kid?
It's been a while. It's been weeks.
Jesus.
I know.
That's why you've
My
been
shoulder
edgy.
misses it.
Go ahead, Dan. Second email.
All right, this is from David T.
Okay.
And I'm reading verbatim. It is my opinion that Dan and Jay make the show better.
Oh.
I enjoy everyone on the show. Yes, even Anna. Well, almost everyone. I don't dislike Brian, but his politics and his voice are annoying to me, so I don't listen when he is on.
Sincerely, Krista Diaco.
Dan's
Steve makes her write the email, right? I could just see Steve probably makes Krista write all the emails.
Yes. Dan's intelligence.
Does Steve even know how to sign on a computer?
No.
Maybe.
No.
Probably
Well, I mean,
not.
do you ever
I
watch
went
him
over-
try to change the channel?
Hold on, I
his
went over to
remote?
his house one time for dinner, and we were trying to adjust. We were trying to play something off of his phone onto
TV?
this mirror, and he was like,
That's so funny.
"Oh, he was funny." He's like, hands it to Krista, and she can't figure it out. Merge Crick, I think, figured it out.
He's got like an iPad universal remote.
Yeah.
That takes like 45 seconds to change the channel.
All right. So
It's torture.
continue on.
Okay, the final sentence is Dan's intelligence and what he brings to the show is priceless. Dave. Well, Dave, I'd just like to say that your insightfulness and intelligence far surpasses the average intelligence of people walking around on Earth. I really appreciate the compliments, and I will continue to try to bring my intelligence, humor, and insight. And I will also continue to try to dissuade Brian from ever showing up on the show again. So thank you for your wonderful email, and hopefully you'll be able to contribute as much as our boy Andrew and become an attendant at the next BARP.
All right, there you go. I mean, not belt worthy, but decent. Like you're a little bit.
It's hard
grasping.
to like put someone over for putting you over.
Yeah.
I mean, the last
first
one was more challenging.
The first one was just really lathered up for you to nail it, and you became a dick. That's okay though, bud.
That's right.
We got to go into words. We'll be back in a minute.
You know, that seemed like a good idea at the time.
Shut up!
More of the Bubba the Love Sponge show after these words.
You actually stood up with a little bit of visual disappointment that you didn't get the belt there, Dave. No, I'm just stretching. I don't want to take the belt from Mommy. I'd rather him lose it than me get it. But Mommy likes the belt.
Well, you like the belt too, buddy.
I like the belt.
I know.
If you do something.
Dan's
so
just
great-
making an excuse as to why he didn't have the belt.
Exactly.
Dan, you're not smarter than us, okay?
And certainly you can't like
You're not talking.
Bubba.
Hey, don't.
Bubba
don't-
knows all your tactics.
Hold on. Don't try to act like I'm Romina and I'm going to believe your bullshit. Okay?
Exactly. Taylor does.
He just thinks he can come up with some stupid shit because he's so used to his audience agreeing with him.
Because his girls have to at his office.
Right. Oh yeah, that's
His kids have to.
Right.
And so basically the
His
only
wife
people that
has
challenge
to.
him are us and
his
Steven.
wife has to.
Yep.
His employees have to. His kids have to.
Sure do.
You've always had his number though, Bubba. Always.
All right, Obi, we got. Creed. We'll do the Creed deal.
Creed next.
Sorry the door's so squeaky, Bob. I didn't mean to distract you.
No, I got to equip everything. I got to get some. I got some lube for it. Out back. I'll do it today.
Dr. Dominic Savage. Previously. Sure would. Mitch.
Thank you. Iggy, good morning. Family boy. Go Bill. Family boy. Go Bill. Derek. Probably true. Coach Gooder, Derek. That'd be short stroker, thank you. Thank you. Short stroker, sprinkles, thank you. Dave Man. Thank you. Unity. Uncle Bill 59, I agree. Jason Hefner, I have to agree with you. D-Rock 843, yup. VR 916, 100% agree. Coach Cooter. Dark match, that's funny. Never justified over 40, that's fun.
So you saw how that kid who was killed was the 20-year-old. The shooter was the 22, the guy for B-Work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was the kid who was just the standard, who just gotten there, 20-year-old college kid. The 14-year-old, my wife said, had a gun.
Really?
That's what she told me.
I heard his dad was out there too.
She said my wife said the 14-year-old allegedly had a gun. But the 20-year-old article that Anna put last night was the kid that Trey,
Saw.
the friends of him saw him at night at the gas
So the
station.
kid with the puffy hair that was in the white t-shirt in the video, he eventually did shoot someone?
Right.
He had a gun, he just didn't
That's
have it
the
in
one
that
I think
video?
he was arrested.
Right, that's the one that got arrested, no bail.
Yeah, he said it was like 30.
So the story is
Some
perfect,
program.
and there's 3 kids literally in costumes. They hear gunshots. They say
I've
jump to the
always had
ground, and 2 of them stand up and one doesn't.
aspirations before proactive, but everything was always placed on hold because of my confidence level.
Get Proactive and get America's #1 acne routine for clear skin that stays clear.
What's up,
Proactive has
Ronnie?
routines
Oh,
formulated for almost every
realtor.
type of skin.
When I first started with practice,
Fall off my
every
tongue
time
very well,
I
though.
kept the
And kid, good
routine.
morning.
He's rainy.
Oh, Rainy? So, Rainy, Oklahoma realtor? So, Nash, young boy Mitch.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
It is.
I'm here for the sponge.
Mate. It's all about mate.
It's got to be Bubba.
I laugh so hard.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Today's after show will be on the Big Four: Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. 4 knucks deep, homie. Eventually, we'll throw an X on top of that and maybe a kick, too. As we start this the reskinning and the redevelopment of Bubba Army Radio. We're still in the beta testing of all that, but man, is it going to be cool. We're not even calling it Bubba Army Radio anymore. We're calling it something else, and hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have it all dialed in and different levels, and on some instances, you can listen to the show completely for free, maybe even some old archive stuff and things like that. It's going to be very, very functional and very new. It looks like it was made within the last year or two. It looks so damn good. Yeah. The other one had like Mad Monkey Show, Cluster F, like had all that old stuff on there.
20 years
ago. It was literally 20 years old. And
this looks 2024.
Oh, it looks great. Tech 9 today at 10:30. Tech has been a longtime friend of the show. I got so much to talk to him about. Huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. He's on tour. Is he on tour now, or he's getting ready? Okay, he's on tour
now. He's in Texas today.
He's in Texas today, and then I think on the 15th, on Saturday, November 15th, he'll be. Which is that the same? I'm trying to.
It's Bubba 199.
You know what that is, Lummy? That's the Stogies event, I think.
Wait.
The 18th.
The 5th. Did you say Saturday the 15th, Lummy? What did you say?
Oh, my bad. 17th. Sorry.
Lummy, you said.
I thought you said the 15th.
No, I'm confused on.
I messed up the date.
Well, no, because she's.
Well, no, so
Saturday's
no.
an 18th.
Well, no.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
So, Lummy, when does Tech 9 come to Tampa at the Hard Rock?
I don't have the sheet in front of me, so
why don't you just have your thing called Google?
Wednesday, November 15th, 7 p.m. at the Hard Rock.
Wednesday, so it's a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Wednesday, November 15th. Perfect. Dan, have you? I know the answer is no because you've completely spaced it. Are you still in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you asked Rob Elder again about the Sprinter yet?
I did, and he was checking.
Oh, okay. I think I feel it just got blown off there.
Rob needs to check with himself.
Yeah, just
what
Rob
do you
got to
mean?
check.
Who's he checking with?
I called him. Jay, I called him yesterday. And he was in the middle of something. He was going to check. It was in the middle of something.
Okay, all right. And Dan, how does that how does millionaire ask millionaire to borrow millionaire's Sprinter? How does that go?
Hey, I need your Sprinter in a few weeks. I think it's November 17th or 18th. Is that a possibility? He goes, yeah, it should be. Just let me check.
I think he's out of town, actually, maybe.
Yeah, he didn't have anything in front of him when I talked to him.
Perfect. That'd be great. Thanks. Alex fight Saturday night. We'll figure out who's all going to that. Lummy, Creed.
Oh.
Yesterday, and by the way, I have a Creed guitar and a Creed 10 million album sales thing.
I like them.
I did too. And Scott Staff and I think Scott Staff and I had a falling out one time.
Why?
You think?
Yeah, I think we did. And I think
what?
And I was at me and Hogan were at the Hard Rock in Orlando watching Kid Rock, and Scott Stapp came up not as Creed but just as himself to watch Kid Rock. And we were in the backstage area, and I guess Scott was like gonna fight me or something. And Hogan told Kid Rock, "Man, Bubba and Scott Stapp are getting ready to fight. I need to go to back my little buddy." And I guess Scott Stapp asked Kid Rock if he was going to. Kid Rock told him, "My name's Bennett, and I ain't in it. I don't have anything to do with this." But I remember, I think, I don't know if we probably don't have the break from 98 Rock, but maybe do a Creed or a Three Doors Down global search. We might be able to make a nice little video of this. Because I used to be close with both. I'm still close with Three Doors Down. It's next September of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Creed's
Florida
playing at the Mid-Florida Amphitheater. And they got, this is actually would be a pretty damn good concert. Jay, me and you, this should be like Jimmy,
yes,
Bubba, Jay, Dan, Pitty.
Yes.
Like that kind of deal.
And Rhett.
Who?
And Rhett?
We're not taking Rhett.
Yeah.
He's not part of our old school squad. Who said that?
Rhett.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, Rhett, you're not going to hang out with the school kids.
All right, I'll just take
now,
my mom.
Right now, I got Jimmy Clevis, Bubba Clem, Jay Diaco, Dan Diaco, pity. Maybe Steve, or will Steve bring the party down? Will he worry too much?
Got to bring Krista.
Instead of bringing the party down, he brings Krista down.
yeah. So we can't take Steve. But listen, here's who's playing: Creed, Three Doors Down,
like it,
Daughtry, Switchfoot, Tonic, and Finger 11.
Wow, that's 6 bands, 6 performances?
Yeah.
Must be all day.
And you know, Danny, that I'm going to get, because I'm going to get a hold of my boy Brad from Three Doors Down, maybe Scott Stapp, and we're not sitting out, like we're backstage. We're catering.
Awesome.
We're only going to go if we can take Brob Elder Sprinter and go backstage.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're not going to be schlepping out in seats, 10 through 15.
Bring Rob E, then bring E3. He'll come. He would be amazing.
Oh,
So much fun.
absolutely.
RE3 for that one.
He's absolutely. I'd be like, RE, I got you. RE, I'll get the backstage passes. You bring the Sprinter. Deal?
Deal.
Oh, fantastic. Maybe, do we bring Jeff Chiragante for the food?
No. We got food there. We'll buy food.
We got Dan with us. We don't need anyone to cater.
Yeah, and you can't ever bring Dan and Jeff in the same situation. Because there's just like a underwritten code there. Dan does not like Jeff.
No. Because he wasn't asked to be a part of the restaurants.
Right. Not that she even would have said yes, Dan, but you wanted to have been asked.
He wanted to say no.
He wanted to be asked so that he could say no.
That's exactly right.
I get that.
So anyway, Lummy, get a hold of, start using, my name.
Yep.
Like really, 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 you're going to have to, Lummy, sometimes when you work these people, you got to work them.
Yeah, of course.
You got to get a hold of Scott. You're going to have to get a hold of Brad from Three Doors and say, like, Bubba wants to have you guys on to promote the show, have you in the studio, the whole 9 yards. Don't let who scoop you on this one just because he's Johnny whatever. This is about relationships.
Of course it is.
I mean, I just hope Scott Stapp isn't really mad at me. I can't.
Or remembers if he was.
Yeah, he can't. Hold on.
Didn't he do a bunch of drugs?
From all the drugs I've done, I can barely remember it. So if
it's also been 30 years.
Yeah, he way doesn't know. Family remembers 20-year-old killed in Ybor City mass shooting. Now, this has some ties to you, Jay. Like, I think I've just from what I can hear you talking off air, but I think maybe your son might have known this kid.
My son did know Harrison. Harrison Boone Stoppel. He was really good friends with Trey's best friend's older brother, who just went to college. 20-year-old college kid. It was just like we suspected. Went to Ybor. They were just going, literally had just gotten there moments before this happened. They hear the gunshots. The kids say, hit the ground. And he and his 2 buddies all hit the ground. And then when the shooting's over, 2 stand up and Harrison doesn't. And they had to call the family. It's literally, it could make me tear up because this could be my son.
Yeah, it could be anybody.
Anyone's son. And I literally spoke to my son the next morning because he told me about it before it was even on the news. I knew who it was. I knew what happened. And I said, son, I can't even imagine what that family's going through or what I would be going through with your mother if last thing we heard was you were just going to Ybor to have some fun and the next thing we heard was you're dead.
We all know the toll that Daddy Joe took on us, and he was an 83-year-old man that had lived his life. And
as a 53-year-old man, it was hard for me to deal with it still.
Yeah, but one could say that Daddy Joe lived a really good life, and he only deteriorated in his last maybe 6 or 7 months. So he was very, very capable clear up until then. Like he nailed it. Like if we could all live to be 83, 84. And be, fairly spry and going to the ball games clear up until 82 and a half, I think we'll take it. Every one of us will take it.
Yeah.
That's not such a tragedy of that guy dying because of just his age.
Yeah. He lived a full life.
Yeah. When you die in your 80s, I mean, it's very tragic, but, it's not.
Burying a parent is not anywhere close to having to bury a child.
Right.
Correct.
It's not.
That's unnatural.
It's not it's very natural, and the ages range, but if your parent can get into the 80s, you are that's great.
I was teaching my son about the cycle of life. This is this is beautiful. We try to help our father. It's terrible. It's painful, but this is a man who lived a full life. When you look at what happened to Harrison's family, it's the exact opposite of what's natural.
It's the biggest tragedy.
The most unnatural
ever.
thing is for a parent to bury their child, and for this kid who was a young superstar, college kid, not doing anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong that night.
Harrison Boone Stoppel was one of 2 people shot and killed in a mass shooting at Ybor City this past weekend. The 20-year-old had been there on only a short amount of time before the shots rang out. Early Sunday morning, Harrison's parents were awoken by a knock on the door and saw his friend, who told them how it unfolded. Guns started firing, and they were all running away, according to his friends. He was saying, everybody drop to the ground, said Brucey Boonstapple, Harrison's mother. There's a picture of Harrison, just the average, good-looking
college kid,
just a good, like just
wholesome,
like any kid that that you'd be proud. Just a
he
regular
wasn't
kid.
wildin'.
No.
He was just in a costume
that?
having a Halloween day.
What was he not doing?
Wildin', like just hanging out on the streets,
wildin',
causing trouble.
There's no
wildin'.
There's no D in it. There's no D in it, Jay.
Wildin'.
Yeah, wildin'. They all drop to the ground, and then their two friends get up, and they say, Harrison, let's get going. Let's go. And they say he didn't get up.
Shame.
Harrison's family learned that he'd been shot in the back and taken to the Tampa General Hospital. Doctors were told the family that there's nothing that they could do to save his life. It's I've gone on marches against guns, and it's like all the work.
That's the dad.
And all the careful stuff, it's been found a way, and it found to my son. I just don't understand. Harrison was known for having an adventurous spirit and a huge love for cars. His family doesn't understand how something like this could have happened to him. I feel sorry for me as a parent, but I feel sorry for him for not being able to live his full life and go on his own, said his father.
I think there's a video at the top.
Police arrested a 22-year-old Terrell Williams in connection with the shooting and are still looking for more possible suspects. Where's the video at?
In that square where the...
I think they have the
Right
news
here.
the news clip that they do.
Yeah.
From 6 o'clock.
The
news.
parents are speaking.
I finally got the confidence I needed.
I gotta have a pre-roll. This guy's got the confidence.
The problem, Bubba, is that they don't manage Ybor the same way they manage Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Bourbon Street in New Orleans has you're talking about a city with a much, much, much higher murder rate, with a much denser crowd 7 days a week going up and down Bourbon Street. And you don't hear about shootings on Bourbon Street because that is their bread and butter. They protect Bourbon Street. They don't allow that. And the reason they don't allow that is because if there's international stories about shootings on Bourbon Street, people will stop going to New Orleans. And the way they solve the problem is
they profile.
It's more than just that. It's first of all, it's the police presence is different. You don't have a bunch of cops taking pictures with hot chicks on the corner. You have cops on patrol, moving around, heavily armed,
on horses,
looking, and a large chunk of them on horses.
Which is intimidating.
Which is intimidating. Plus, they have the paddy wagon. They have one or two paddy wagons
every
set
couple
up
blocks
where you can see the dumbasses that are drunk and stupid that already got in trouble, and they lock them up in the paddy wagon, and all the other people get to look at them like they were in the stockade.
Right.
It's the same kind of shame. So you realize if I F up, I'm going to be like one of those douchebags
in the paddy wagon.
And then the cops are moving around and they're everywhere. If they see anything that looks at all like it's going to be a bunch of bad kids grouping together or squaring off like that, they immediately attack it like you would attack any kind of disruption. And they bring in horses, policemen, and big guys that are not afraid
with big SWAT shields
to yoke your ass up and throw you down. And they don't really care about your immediate, here at my little field wings. They maintain control.
That's true.
And Tampa doesn't do it because they're afraid to, or they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
Their mayor.
Or because the mayor didn't put the resources into it.
This is a direct reflection on our mayor.
She's more worried.
Listen to me.
She disagrees with you.
Listen to me. The mayor controls the police force,
right,
and how they act, whether they're woke, they're snowflake, or they're Grady Judd. If Grady Judd was in charge of Ybor, do you think
this would happen?
There'd be nothing happen?
According to Jane Castor, she said this is not a police issue.
Of course it is.
Well, then what issue is it?
It's a police issue.
Of course it is.
Gun issue,
Of course it
obviously.
is.
It's actually a double P issue. It's a police with a parenting issue.
Well,
is what it really
she
is.
says it's just the gun issue.
Yeah, it's
Of course it is. The guns shoot themselves.
Hold on.
People are still in the hospital tonight following that deadly Ybor shooting.
Police tell us those victims are in stable condition. And News Channel 8's Annie Mapp joins us from Tampa General Hospital. I know you spoke to the family of one young man who just didn't survive his injuries from that shooting, Annie.
It was a very difficult conversation to have with the family of 20-year-old Harrison Boonstapple. He too was brought to Tampa General Hospital after I'm told he was shot in the back on Ybor. His loved ones tell me he had only been out there for a short amount of time when the shooting happened. It's a nightmare you never wake up from.
And do you know how bad PR this is for all the good people that have bars and restaurants and eateries and tattoo shops and, drink shops and just all the people? I mean, listen, if you're going to have a business in Ybor, and I had one in 96, it's a few $1 million commitment. I mean, by the time you remodel, you buy your liquor license, it's a $1.5 million commitment, and they have their life savings poured into this eating establishment or this one of the various
small businesses. They're all small businesses.
And do you know how many people that are affluent that could potentially go down there, have dinner, a few drinks, and out of there by 11 or 12 o'clock that are not going to go now?
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
I'm one of them.
Not the thugs that have $5 in their pocket and aren't spending, but the people that got, credit cards in their pocket that want to go out and spend $300-400 on a nice dinner and some drinks. Those people, they're not coming. They're done.
You just scared them away.
Jane Castor, you just pretty much, it's hard telling how many businesses, only time will tell how many you just shuttered.
Well, the whole landscape of Ybor's changed. Remember when we were in our 30s, there were really nice restaurants there. Sushi on 7th, Bernini's, and we would go, it was like an early pre-party. Go have a nice dinner, have drinks.
Dinner at 8.
Then go to the clubs.
Yeah.
And there's when's the last time you know anybody that went to a dinner as a grown adult in Ybor?
Now that Jeff Charagante's got his place canvases, none.
I don't know a single person.
This is
honestly the worst you can ever imagine.
20-year-old Harrison Boonstapple's family got an alarming knock at their front door early Sunday morning. It was one of his friends.
That's Bubba's Beach Club right there.
I told you.
Hold on.
It was right in front of it.
Hold on. Right there.
The yellow one.
Is Bubba's Beach Club.
Was
Bubba's Beach Club. 96 to 2001, I think.
What block?
I
don't know.
16.
Guns started firing, and so they were all running away.
Oh.
And according to his friend, he was saying, everybody drop to the ground, drop to the ground. So they all dropped to the ground. And then his two friends got up and they're like, Harrison, let's get going. Let's go. And they said he didn't get back up.
Harrison's family learned he was shot when an argument on Ybor resulted in gunfire. Unfortunately, doctors told the family there was nothing they could do to save his life.
I have gone on marches against guns.
So, Dan,
look at the siblings. Oh, my God, I could cry right now.
So, Dan, what part of the back will instantly kill you? Like, if it doesn't hit your heart, does it hit your spine?
If it hits your spine, you're paralyzed. And if it hits your back and your spine, it's not going to kill you. It's just going to paralyze you.
So, being shot in the back and then
it's a liver shot.
And then
it's a liver shot.
And then being taken to the hospital, them looking and telling the family, we can't do anything. Liver.
Could it also be like the back of the heart from a good bullet? No?
Probably not. He would have died right there in the spot.
You only have one liver, right?
You only have one liver. The problem is
you can't live without a liver.
It's not the liver. It's the retrohepatic vena cava. It's the giant vein that goes behind the liver.
Oh.
And when that gets hit, as soon as you open up the belly, they bleed out. It's like that guy that gets pinched in a train that, before they release the train, he says goodbye to his family because as soon as they release the train, he dies.
The train?
Like when two trains
people
people get pinched in something or pinned in something.
Oh, I never saw the
yeah. Okay, so there's a lot. It happens throughout the world where people get pinned by a truck against two cars or a truck against
But I never know they had train pinning deals.
Yeah, people got a train backs into something and it's all of a sudden he's pinned between two cars. That has happened. And when people get pinned like that, as soon as you release them, they die. So what they do is while they're still pinned, they'll bring the family in to say goodbye and everyone says goodbye and then they release him and and the guy dies in 30 seconds, a minute. So one of the worst things I ever saw in my residency was a guy that got shot in what we call the retrohepatic, behind the liver, vena cava, the giant vein that goes up your body. And so he was talking, he was completely normal. And as soon as we opened up his belly, it was like a plastic trash bag of blood just pouring out. There's nothing stopping it.
Kind of like one of those,
you can't
like
get to it.
one of those.
Oh my God!
Like one of those, like.
It'd be like getting shot in the belly with a shotgun and just eviscerating your main vessels. You just can't stop the bleeding. You can't get to it in time, and it's
everywhere.
bleed out. Yeah, it's a disaster.
With all the work and all the careful stuff.
This isn't about guns, though. I know I'm not trying to make her, not trying to argue with her. I can't even understand what she's going through right now. But I don't think it's about guns. It's about parenting.
And an 18-year-old bringing a gun to walk the streets of Ybor.
And today's mentality of today's youth.
Still found a way, and it found my son. I just don't understand that.
The 20-year-old was known for having an adventurous spirit and a huge love for cars. Why him? It's a question that's living in the minds of his family.
I feel sorry for me as a parent, but honestly, I feel very sorry for him for not coming to a full life and getting off on his own.
Look at his sister and brother.
Harrison was also a twin. I'm told he was attending Hillsborough Community College, and his family tells me if he could have been anything, he would have been a race car driver. Reporting live in Tampa, Annie Map 8.
I sent you the 14-year-old's parent.
You lost me there on the race car driver. Because Dad better be writing a big-ass check. That's all race car drivers. You don't even have to be good. They'll just build a car around you. Just write a big enough check. What's this, Lummy?
Oh, this is the 14-year-old's father.
No, is he dead too?
No, he was there that night with the 14-year-old.
The father's alive. The 14-year-old is dead.
So there are two people who are dead. One was the Boonstoggle guy.
Yep.
And then
Harrison.
the other one was this one.
Was a 14-year-old.
Which was out at 3:00.
Was he one of the
With his
shooters?
dad.
Was he one of the trouble promoters?
That's
what they're looking into.
That's what they're saying.
With a Halloween bar crawl ending in tragedy as shots rang out here in Ybor City. In the heart of Ybor's nightlife scene, chaos quickly.
Yeah, I mean, if you were just on the sidewalk, it could be any of us.
That's exactly what they were doing. They were just walking the streets like we all did.
Right. It could have been any of us. Just, we were gathered there in one particular corner. Where are we going now, guys? I don't know. Let's go down here. All right, let's go. Also,
unfolded. As a night full of fake horror ended in real terror. Tampa police say 2 people are dead and 18 others hospitalized after a fight between 2 groups escalated to gunfire.
Elijah Jaquan Wilson.
What?
He was 14 years old, at the wrong place at the wrong time.
A gut-wrenching scene as Emmett Wilson fell to his knees at the sight of his teenage son's body.
I have lost my son. I have lost a second child to gun violence.
A devastating loss.
maybe you need to have some different rules with where you allow your kids to travel to. Maybe. I'm just saying it for a friend.
It's sad. I feel badly for the guy too. I mean, it's a tragedy for everybody. First of all, the kid that's in jail is going to be in jail for a long time. The kids that died, obviously, their lives are over. There's another 16 to 18 people that were also injured unnecessarily. And again, it's control, it's honor, it's the way we're bringing up children now, and we aren't doing this. One of the things that societies all have, almost every single society has, is some sort of religion, because religion keeps people well behaved. People don't like to answer. People don't like to answer to a higher government or a higher person, but they'll answer to a higher God. And when they feel that there is a God that is watching and kind of keep in check, like good old Santa Claus, people have better behavior. And I'm sorry to admit it, but human beings are inherently not good. Animals don't react like humans do to other humans. Animals don't torture other animals, and animals don't require religion to have an organized society.
Yeah, but they lick each other's butt.
That's fine. I'm all for that.
I respectfly disagree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because if we had no religion, then there'd never be any kind of violence.
No morals.
And there would be no morals, and people would have no reason to take
Saudi
care
Arabia's
of each other.
a pretty violent place, and They have
They've replaced religion with law.
And I would say Palestine is a pretty religious place.
They have morals. They have religion. You kidding me? You can't tell me that their religion is
the reason why we're in this.
Is the Muslim religion, and they answer to Allah. That is their religion.
And they cause a lot of violence.
But regardless, they do that under the guise of religion, and they don't cause violence amongst themselves in their own neighborhoods.
I mean,
just because
it's
they're mad at somebody. It's not where I'm talking about a society. I'm talking about a society maintaining control within itself.
Well,
and the societies that do that mostly are those with higher religions.
Well,
over the last 5,000 years.
Well, I've done a lot of research. I don't know if you know who Steven Pinker is, but he wrote a very long book called Better Angels of Our Nature, and it was about the steady decline in violence over the millennia and over the centuries. And basically what he came to understand is that as soon as there was a Leviathan, which is essentially like a governing body, then the government had an interest in the people because the people were property of the state. So it wasn't just like you had one family who felt like, oh, you stole a cow, I'm going to go and kill you. And then, the king didn't care. But once you had a Leviathan, once you had a governing body that you were going to be tried no matter what if you committed an act of violence, that's when there started to become a steady decline in violence. So it actually was a governing body, despite the fact that there was already religion. Sorry.
I reject that.
Okay.
And look at societies now. When you have societies that are ridden, if you have just communities within America, those that are more religious have less violence.
But you guys are you guys are agreeing more than you understand, because what you're saying, Danny, is within religion, an eye for an eye, an eye for an eye, or a hand for a hand. And what Anna's saying is when you have a government that enforces rules, and this is what I talk about all the time, there's a chilling effect. If you know that, and whether it's religion for you, say, Dan, or government, like Anna says, when your society knows that there's a consequence for your actions, that's when behavior starts occurring. So exerting control in Bourbon Street or having a government like Anna says, both of them are effective at doing the same thing because it has a chilling effect, because you don't want to see yourself in the cage like a monkey because you're in the drunk tank, like other DBs, like Dan would say, or because you're in jail because you violated a law and the government that you live within, like Anna says, has enforced it. But when you live in an unenforced society, whether there's no religion or no government, it's unmanageable, it's untenable. And so what we have is a city where they don't enforce the law on these streets. And so we have wild streets.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, you tried to chime in 3 times and you completely, so it must not have been that important.
No, we're here.
My child. 2014, I lost my child. Now here it is, 2023. And my baby boy, he's gone now from gun violence.
It's a nightmare. It's like a dream. It's like a dream. Because I just never imagined him out of all people.
Why was he allowed to be at Ybor City at 14?
It's her fault. Is she the mom?
Yes, Anna.
Okay,
go ahead.
If I'm sorry, I won't.
I was going to run this out, but go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I don't have to.
Nope.
I was just going to say. Okay.
Now you have to.
All right. I was just going to say that with religion, it's often open to interpretation. So you could say, like, it's God's will. This is what you brought on yourself, and whatever you can justify yourself. But under the law, I mean, even though it is, open to interpretation, typically the laws are kind of written in stone. And if it's depending on how your system works, how your governance system works and your judicial system works, you're often brought to justice by, a court of law. So it's not just, you can't just justify it yourself that, you should have killed someone.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you waiting for? Pile on the anti-Bubba bandwagon.
Whatever.
More Bubba the Love Sponge after this.
I'll be right back in a second.
morning. Very true, Olio Joe.
The shocking and tragic death of actor Matthew Perry. Tragic death.
Yeah, Olio Joe, I'm sorry, I forgot. Completely spaced. What's up, Jay?
You still got 3 minutes if you need to stretch it.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay.
Do you know who Steven Pinker is?
I think I watched that thing. I did watch the thing yesterday that you showed
Oh,
me.
no, not that.
No, that's different. I think I watched. Has he been on Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Okay, I
He's
think
got
I've
big
watched.
curly
I'm
gray
almost. I haven't watched that exact
Yeah.
thing that you did, but I've definitely seen him and listened to him
He has
before.
a pretty interesting case to say that actually violence is dropping over time, even though it seems like things are getting more violent.
Well, it's just because social
Numbers.
media allows us to see everything that's going on around the world where you didn't used to before.
Yeah.
But that video, that guy is a trip.
Right?
Because he basically says you must eradicate it. I mean, that's the.
And his father is one of the founding members.
That guy's got huge cojones. He
I mean,
figured
he must be on
the
so many
whole
lists.
radical, extreme world must be after him. You know what I mean? Like, if they knew where he was, he'd be gone.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I was
He
gonna
would
say I
be
don't
considered
think
the
that.
biggest trader of
No,
Hamas,
no.
right?
If they could get their hands on it.
That's what I mean.
But I'm just saying, I'm trying to think of like a Muslim country with really great intelligence, and I feel like there isn't one.
Saudi may have decent intelligence.
That's true. They did find Khashoggi.
Yeah.
But
And then they came up with that harebrained scheme.
yeah.
Um,
Did Khashoggi went into a Saudi embassy in Turkey? That's where he was. Right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you walk into a Saudi
You
embassy,
see how Erdogan's even like speaking up against us now? It's pretty wild. All these countries that we give all this money to, all this aid to, and they're all like, that's one thing about the other administration I liked is when people got feel like this, he's like, hey, I think we're going to limit all of our humanitarian aid to Qatar and to all the countries around it because you can't just, well, you know, they're attacking the United States military bases all over.
I know that they were sending rockets from Yemen. So
Yeah.
I don't know how Yemen does anything, but apparently they were sending rockets over to U.S. military bases.
Exactly. I think they've injured over 20.
Yeah. I'm actually shocked that hostages are actually getting released.
I think that's their play. They want to like slowly release them.
I mean, they're killing some, for sure, and I'm sure some are getting killed in the crossfire. But
It's so intense. I hate watching it. I don't think Dan's smoking cigarettes anymore. Frito S. I don't. I quit in 2004.
I don't think he is. I'd smell him.
Well, he would never do it around you.
Yeah, but I don't think he is.
I don't think he is. I bet he has.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I'm out in the car listening to Bubba the Love Sponge.
Oh.
Love you guys.
Gotta be Bubba. Wondering who he's going to yell at next.
Yeah.
People from all facets of life can relate to this show, and that's why I like it.
I love it. I can't get enough.
Bubba the Love Sponge. Exactly.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Yes, admittedly, I've become good friends with the CEO of the company, Randy from Skag Power Equipment. But even before I met the CEO, realized he's from Wisconsin, a Packer fan, frustrated one at that. Now I know why Randy goes to NHRA every weekend, because he's got season tickets to the Packers, Lummy, but who'd want to go watch that nonsense? Anyway, man, if you're out there and you're in the zero-turn lawnmower business, or the blower business, or the seeding and sprayer, and just all the things that you need to maintain an unbelievable landscaping for your home or maybe your business, nothing beats Skag, period. Everything else is rinky-dink. Craftsman, Toro, Exmark, Bad Boy. None of that's commercial. That's all residential rinky-dink. Get yourself a commercial unit, my friend, or at least even the residential are way more rugged than the commercial units. If they're made in Maryville, I think it's Maryville, Wisconsin, and they're orange and they're badass. Go to skag.com, Lummy, to see their selection, and more importantly, a dealer near you. I've had a lot of people, Lummy, that have switched out their Easy Mark or their X Mark or their Bad Boy or their John Deere or their Cub Cadet. I've had a lot of Bubba Army that have switched out, and they're on a real mower right now. Skag. If you could have a Skag, Lummy, you'd like it, wouldn't you, cousin?
I would love it.
Please. Skag.com. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Maria, for all that you do for me.
Turning now to the shocking and tragic death of actor Matthew Perry.
Now, wasn't he having, like, just a couple years ago, like, some alcoholic issues?
He went to 6,000 AA meetings and went to rehab 15 times, so I'd say yes.
And some pills.
For real?
Yeah.
6,000 AA meetings and 15 or 16 times to rehab?
He said he spent $9 million.
And
$9 million. Exactly.
And he even said that everything after, I think, season 3 of Friends, he just doesn't remember.
Well,
really
if
doesn't remember
if you look at the different shapes and sizes of him, he says when he's really skinny, he was on pills. When he was really fat, he was on alcohol. And when he had the goatee, he was really, really into the pills. So he was hiding his skinniness.
Yeah, it's been a constant battle for him.
I didn't remember how much his physical appearance changed over the season.
He took a lick. He took a lick in the hot tub. He took a lick in the hot tub. I forgot. Dan broke it down. The only way to die in a hot tub is from pills, I think.
Pathology results are still pending for the Friends star.
Now, they weren't illicit, but, just what you can get from your doctor if you mix minus the wrong way. Thank God I ain't got a hot tub.
Died over the weekend at the age of 54. Tonight, we're hearing for this first time from his fellow actors in the hit sitcom. In a joint statement to People magazine, they said, "We were more than just castmates. We are a family." We're going to take a moment to grieve and process this unfathomable loss. Here's Entertainment Tonight co-host Kevin Frazier.
I'm telling you right now, do you know how the surviving Friends cast make an absolute zillion bucks?
Royalties.
As they do one episode. They come back and do one, and it's about him dying.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness. That's brilliant.
That's
brilliant.
They write him off on the show. He's died in real life, so it's not disrespectful.
No.
Right?
Or does it pay honor to him?
And maybe you don't make him die in kind of a not so cool hot tub way, but you
make it a controversial death.
Make it an air fly, something. And they come back and they do one more show, like they're all getting together and having a reunion, and he on the way to the reunion got killed in a car crash or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Wouldn't everybody watch it?
Yeah.
Everybody. Now it's a little morbid. It's a little, but man, who? I mean, it's brilliant. So, and some of these, like Lisa Kudrow, Jennifer Aniston, that bitch has got so much work. She's turning work down. But I don't know how busy the other people are. on Friends.
No, probably Courtney Cox would be the second busiest.
But she's not near, like Jennifer Aniston's in like 5 things right now, including the morning show that I'm all caught up to speed on. So like she doesn't need the work, but she would do it for the cause. And they have like they're all going to get together for a Christmas or something like that, you know, at one of the person's house, and they're all traveling from different parts of America to get there and have a little Friends reunion. And Matthew Perry takes a lick and getting there, like his plane crashes or he gets hit by an Uber driver or something.
Jesus Christ!
Right, Jay? Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah.
I don't know if the rest of the castmates would agree to it or not, but my Lord, there's some don't leave any money on the table.
Well, you know, these guys, when they were young, they were so smart because they all stuck together like Seinfeld did. And I think they were one of the first casts that they demanded that they all get $1 million per episode, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And then on the residuals, that none of these people have to work ever again, including Jennifer Aniston.
Right,
because
no, she's got
whenever
so
I'm in
much
Costa Rica, whenever I'm anywhere, Friends is on.
Mm-hmm.
The Office is on. Seinfeld's on.
Hey,
Those
Alexa,
people
how
get
much
paid forever.
is Jennifer Aniston worth?
Jennifer Aniston is worth an estimated $320 million US dollars.
That's what I'm talking
Her
about.
annual base salary is
How about
$1
David
million.
Schwimmer?
I love him.
Because, I mean, he hasn't really done a ton, so wouldn't you agree that if he has a lot of money, most of it's got to be Friends
Hey,
money?
Alexa, how much is David Schwimmer worth?
David Schwimmer is worth an estimated $120 million US dollars.
Yeah. So a guy that didn't do hardly anything after Friends has been able to create $120 million of personal worth just in syndication rights.
He does a lot of cartoons though, so you don't see him.
Still, okay. Let's see what Matthew Perry was worth.
$134 million.
Hey, Alexa, how much was Matthew Perry worth?
American actor and producer Matthew Perry is worth approximately $120 million.
There you go. So there,
money.
Jay, that's the Friends money.
That's the Friends money. Now do Pete Davidson. I think it's 10 mil.
Or, hey, Alexa, how much is Lisa Kudrow worth?
Lisa Kudrow is worth an estimated $130 million.
See? So they all got about $120 for Friends.
Incredible, right?
Except for Jennifer, who's gone out and just had
she made $200 million on her own.
She's piled $200 million on that $120.
You could say Matthew Perry became friends with
I'm
millions.
telling you, man,
he was funny on that show.
You bring them all back on a Christmas, coming back for Christmas. We're all going to meet, and Matthew Perry takes a lick getting there. Oh.
Of TV viewers as the quick-witted, often sarcastic Chandler Bing.
I got her machine.
Her answering machine?
No. Interestingly enough, her leaf blower picked up.
And tonight, remembrances continue to pour in for the friend they've lost, including in front of the fictional New York apartment where his character lived. The 54-year-old Perry was found unresponsive in a hot tub at his Pacific Palisades home late Saturday afternoon.
Oh, they put a tent over it and everything?
Crime scene.
23, Rescue 23, MS 9 on the radio. Respond to the drowning.
Investigators reportedly found no signs of foul play or illegal drugs in the home. Just a week ago, Perry posted an image of himself in his hot tub on Instagram.
I'm not going to be embarrassed anymore.
Friends premiered in 1994 and featured Perry for all 10 seasons, earning him one of several Emmy nominations.
I can't do it, Toby. I'm sorry.
That praise includes his turn to drama as a Republican lawyer.
Oh, that's right. He was on West Wing. Oh, yeah, I remember
the
that.
West Wing. Perry's decade-long struggle with drugs and alcohol were revealed in his memoir last year.
Well, I want to drink all the time because it's the only time I feel good and normal. But then it turns on you. The drink turns on you and says, well, now I'm going to kill you.
In the book, Perry described how he attended...
Same thing as Big Macs for me. Sorry.
6,000 AA meetings and had been in rehab 15 times. He claimed he spent around $9 million just to get sober.
If somebody comes up to me and says, I can't stop drinking, can you help me? I can say yes and follow up and do it. And when I die... I don't want Friends to be the first thing that's mentioned. I want that to be the first.
He sounds drunk right there.
Marble mouth.
And I'm going to live the rest of my life proving that.
You know, do you think that sometimes when you were talking about you taking prescription drugs that are, your legal prescriptions, but you just maybe did them the wrong way, and do you think maybe he just kind of like slipped down and drowned because he may have been, under the influences? I don't know about drunk or not, but maybe just the meds. Or it could be drunk. I mean,
it's
what do you
usually
think?
a combination.
Yeah.
Probably, Usually it was his meds that he was supposed to take, but he threw alcohol on top of that, which then all bets are off with regards to what those meds are supposed to be doing.
So you look at the picture a week before where he's got his arms up. All it takes is his arms to fall over and to slip down, and you're done.
You're done. So, and I got little T-Rex arms. That's why I never go in the pool.
On expanding his foundation's efforts to help as many as possible that were struggling with addiction.
Anyway,
he was also working on his own well-being.
Sorry, Matthew Perry, age what?
54.
54, took a lick. They should come back with a Fringe reunion deal, and he takes a lick getting there.
Yeah.
Everybody would watch it.
Another break.
What happens? Let's go. Really? Let's go.
Another bamboozling.
I mean, it doesn't make you crazy or anything.
Bubba the Love Sponge returns after this.
I think it's incredible they're all about 120 large. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's world.
You know, Pete Davidson's all over the place, and when he was dating Kanye's, or when he was dating Kim Kardashian, I said to my son,
What?
like,
Technology manager.
What do you mean he's worth a ton of money? I said,
reschedule
that kid's not worth
12:30 today or 10:30 tomorrow.
120.
10:30 tomorrow would be great. Okay.
You know, he doesn't, he's not like
He apologizes.
Kanye, hundreds.
Tell him
Kim,
Bubba
hundreds.
understands. We'll see you tomorrow at 10:30. Okay.
That's impressive.
Tell him thank you.
All right. Their family
We'll
legacy
do.
is going to be incredible. Like his family, I'm sure his family's set off forever.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I don't think, did he ever get married? I know he was like engaged at the time. I don't think he ever got married.
Oh, wow.
On average, they get like over 20 million viewers per week.
I know.
And, you know, some of the specials were 32, 35. MASH got 105 million on their season finale.
MASH?
MASH.
What the hell?
And Game of Thrones only got 19, and they made it some big deal.
I never watched
You gotta get into it. It's like, you know.
Yeah, I
it
tried
started
to
off
get into
cool.
like midway, and that was a mistake.
It was better to binge watch than to try to stay on for every season. Because by the
Okay,
time the
you
next season,
forget.
I forgot everything.
You're like, what even happened?
Good morning, guys. Have a good day, everybody. What up, Big Red, Snizuki Slayer, HF Bub Fan, Holyoke Joe. How's everyone doing?
Morning, Big Red.
Thuggish Ruggish Nerve. What's up, everybody? Oh, David Schwimmer was in Breastman. I don't remember that. What up, group of lips? The Tim Hang one?
Did you have a favorite Friends character?
I mean, I watched it, but I wasn't really like a super Friends fanatic. I think Joey was probably my favorite character.
I'd have to say it was Ross.
What up, Dr. Dan's Bloomin' Onion? Heather Spin Instructor, what up? I understand as my wife being the dead loser in the Women's Fantasy Football League, I'm hosting all of you guys at my house, I guess.
Where you got today's good moneymaker?
Volsky, what up? I'm not going to be calling for that. I'll be going out as that, definitely. What up, NC Surf? BR916, Hot Lips Houlihan, remember that? Alan Alda was incredible in those. What up, Sicilian Redneck? Vernon Bama Boy. I know, Trickney, I heard about it yesterday. What up, Jeff Schwartz?
Aniston, by far, aged the best of all of them.
Oh yeah. Courtney Cox got a little bit too much work done, I think.
And she got a little like emaciated. She got really thin.
Yeah. She was
Remember
beautiful
growing up?
when
She was as a kid when she was on that Bruce Springsteen video, which is cute as a person could be. Was it Born in the USA? She's in Born, I think that's the video she's in.
During the concert.
Yeah. The
Is
fake
she
concert.
still with what the fuck is
Chris
his name? Arquette.
Oh, I think they are still David Arquette.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they are still together. Well, you know what? I don't know that. I don't know that to be true.
That's not the dark.
I think they are. This show, I think I watched like a couple episodes. Cougar Town or something.
Oh, I remember that. I didn't like it really.
They're not together anymore.
No.
And they separated. She's dating Snow Patrol band member.
Oh, a Snow. Oh, like that band?
Mm-hmm.
I remember Snow Patrol. 14.2.
It's pretty funny. HS's Bubba fan. I agree with that, Chris Greger.
Bubba the Love Sponge!
I love everything about the show.
Every day for 4 hours, man. It just makes time fly by.
Gotta be Bubba. This is awesome. I love it. And I spent about 2 hours in my car when it's supposed to be a 20-minute break.
Yeah.
Bubba the Love Sponge!
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Pretty much gonna wrap it up. Thank you, Jay.
Happy Halloween.
Think we'll see you on maybe Friday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Happy Halloween to everybody. Go out with your kids. Don't let them roam around. No matter where you live. Iowa, Wisconsin, Indiana, LA. There's shootings everywhere. So go out with your kids tonight for Halloween. We'll do an after show exactly at 10:20. It'll be on Rumble. It'll be on Facebook. It'll be on YouTube. And it'll be on Twitch. We'll see you over there at 20 after.
Thanks for letting me finish. You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Co-host and show historian, Lummox.
Co-host, Anna Hummel.
Co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire, of Council.
Co-host, J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Council.
Brett, the Filthy Ginger video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
And for everything else, go to thebubbaarmy.com.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello.